Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well out there. We are live today. What day is it today? Sunday. Wow, the 3rd of May. Hope you're all doing well out there. Been a little while since we've done a stream. Had a free Sunday and wanted to build something. So let's just jump in. Today, we're going to be building a bar cube. There's something I've wanted to do for a while, and should be a lot of fun. Firstly, what is a bar cube? A bar cube is a cube. We love that. We love cube on this channel. It's a cube that is easily playable and easily accessible, and you generally play it at bars when you're drinking, that kind of stuff. The main things with bar cubes that are a little bit different to regular cubes is that there's no tokens and there's no counters. But the idea is that everything fits in one box. You put the box in your bag. You then go to the pub and you say to friends, do you want a cube now? I have one with me. That kind of thing. So, yeah, no tokens, no counters, nothing like that. So that immediately means no planeswalkers because you need counters on that kind of stuff. No like stun counters, no plus one counters, nothing like that. That doesn't go in the cube. Also, bar cubes generally aren't sleeved. I'm sure you could. I'm not going to be sleeving this. That will kind of immediately define the kind of power level. Because I'm not going to put in this thing any cards that I don't want to get ruined by someone spilling a beer on them. Something like that. Or a Coke. Something like that. So, in terms of power level of the cube, it's going to be synergistically solid, but we're not going to be running the most efficient spells. We might run Counterspell if we get to it, if it's cheap, but we're not going to be running things like Fetch Lands and Jace the Mind Sculpt or anything like that. We're not going to be running super optimized bits. We're here for fun gameplay. So one of the things, importantly, when I'm building this, is I am going to be going for vibes and things that I enjoy over the most efficient things, because I have other cubes for more efficient things. Our playgroup has plenty of cubes for more efficient broken things. We still want to do some broken things, but at a slightly slower, chiller pace. One thing as well that has allowed this process to be a bit simpler is the cube skeleton. On screen here, in the top right above my head, is the cube skeleton that we talked about recently on an episode of the Powerful Nothing podcast. We're going to be building a 360 cube today. One thing with bar cubes is that the goal of it is I can just put it in my bag and I can play with whoever's there. A 360 will let me go up to 8 people, but it won't be the end of the world if only 4 people are there. That kind of going to the pub with friends, the 4 to 8 is kind of the number that we generally hit, so just having this cube on me will be really good. But why this is going to be a nice, easy process is because we have the set skeleton. A link to this, as well as the episode where we talk about the set skeleton in a great amount of detail, will be in the show notes below if you want to check that out. Because I do think this is probably the easiest way of building a cube. Because what I have on screen here, so I know this is 360. If I wanted to go along, we do have other sizes available: 450, 720s on the right, just it's cropped a little bit. We're going to be building a 360 cube today, but what I'm going to be doing is basically going down here. So for creatures, in white, I need 29 creatures. I need 5 1-drops, 9 2-drops, 7 3-drops, so on and so forth. So that's what I'm going to be going to. That's what I'm going to be doing today. Also, I'm not doing this on Moxfield. I will. If you're watching the VOD of this, there will be a link to a Moxfield or a Cube Cobra which has all the cards in. But my whole collection, or what I have, is sorted. We recently did a big tidy recently, and everything's now sorted. So I have everything in 1 to 6+ drops. So I'm actually going to be going through the collection and putting the cards on screen here. That's what this is for. Where's my test card? Where's the... Aketra's Avenger was the test card that we had for today. This is what we're going to be using, or this part of the screen here is what we're going to be using to talk about cards. So as I go through the collection, I'm going to be chatting, filling in these gaps here, and having a nice time. We'll see where we get to today. I don't really have much planned for the rest, until about 5, 6 p.m, so we have a couple of hours. Was meant to be on holiday this weekend, but we had basically the cat ate something she shouldn't have. She's better now, but it's been a lot of running back and forth to the vets this week. So we couldn't leave her alone. So we are here. We are home. Wifey's upstairs working on her PhD. We're building a cube. Might as well make the most out of a Sunday. The cat is good though. She might appear later. Hopefully her appetite has come back a little bit. But yeah, we might as well start jumping in. So what I'm going to be doing is going through the set skeleton. We're going to be starting at white 1-drops and going up from there. We're going to be going through looking at creatures, but I'm going to keep an eye on the fact that I also need 6 instants, 5 sorceries, 1 artifact, and 4 enchantments. The curves on the instant sorceries, artifacts, and enchantments aren't as important, but we're going to try and spread out. I don't want all my instants to be 5 drops. That just won't work. But we're going to go through it and just see where we go. And basically, I'm just going to chat through the cards that come up as we like them. So we'll kind of put it to the side a bit here, and as we go through, we'll go through cards that we like. You might see, I was building a bird deck recently. So there's a strong, deep, rich vein of birds. In terms of, should we touch on synergies? So with this bar cube, I'm not going to be going too much into 2-color archetypes. If some appear, like we went through this thick vein of white flyers at the start. Flyers in a white-blue deck is something that kind of is generally you see in Magic, so we're going to keep the archetypes pretty free-flowing. We're generally just going to go for the best cards that we can run out of the pile available to us. And if we find like gold cards that will seed with some of the cards that we're looking, then we will do that. It's also a thing of like, this can be the first part of a cube build. We can come back afterwards and touch it up a little bit. But I think this is generally going to be a really, like, what I want to demonstrate with the cube skeleton is that this is the easiest way to build a cube. You can just, I'm literally just going through my collection. I'm fortunate enough to have it organized, but I'm going through an organized collection, and I'm going to, by the end of either this video, or if we need to do a part 2 tomorrow, we will, I should have a 360 cube that will work, will function. That's the point of the set skeleton. If you follow it, all your decks will work. Like this will mean that you have like the white aggro deck, like the red aggro deck, like you'll have like the blue-based tempo deck. Everything will be spread out nicely, and it will work as you want it to. So with that out of the way, let's start going through white. We need 5 white 1-drops. So because we have all these flying verbs, I feel like we need 1 Blade Battlefield Raptor. Seems like a solid one to start. We could go Healer's Hawk. We're probably not going to run both, because we only have 5. This is a 360 cube. Not City Pigeon. Ooh, we could go Rebels. I recently cut Rebels from my... Or I was trying Rebels in my old bordered budget cube. It didn't really work, but in this it could be quite fun. Let's keep Rebels to the side. We have a card like Swords to Plowshares. There's going to be a bunch of like commandery staples in this collection. Swords to Plowshares might just be a card that's just generically too powerful. From my end, I'm probably going to leave Swords to Plowshares out just because the rest of the cards aren't going to be as efficient. So if people are ramping to their like 6 drops and that's where the power is, Swords to Plowshares is just too efficient at taking it out. So probably Swords to Plowshares not going to be in this cube, but it has plenty of other ones it could go into. Nurturing Pixie is a cool one, but it cares about counters, therefore we're not running it. Same with Crawling Chorus. I think this one's quite cool. Wanderbrine Trapper. This is a perfectly fine draft uncommon, and like having a tapper having some interaction on a 1-drop is going to be pretty solid. Wanderbrine Trapper, single white, 2/1, base level, phenomenal. We love that. But it has the additional 1 and tap. Let's move the mic over here a bit. 1 tap, tap another untapped creature you control, tap target creature an opponent controls. So it's a white aggressive creature. That's generally what white 1-drops are tending to do. But it also has some late game play in that it can tap, like if they finally land an 0-4 or like a 2-4 first strike, it's just going to ruin our whole aggressive mono whiteboard. We can run this to tap something down. I think Wanderbrine Trapper is a pretty slam dunk. Let's put it... We're definitely wanting Wanderbrine Trapper. And let's do Healer's Hawk. So we have 2. We are looking for 3 more 1-drops, but we'll also keep an eye on instant and sorceries as we go. Condemn's a pretty fun one. I like Condemn as a white instant. We need 6 of them. I think having a cheap interaction spell is good, but this isn't as efficient as just path. They have to do something. Like it has a additional clause. So attacking is an additional step that I think is fine. So for that reason, I think Condemn can probably get in as one of our instants. We'll put that in the maybe pile. The maybe pile will be just off to the side. Doom Traveller. This is the type of cube where power level wise, Doom Traveller is perfect. However, makes a token, does not get in our bar cube. What do we have? Favoured Hoplite again, cool card. Smite is another cool one. Destroy target blocked creature. This might be power level wise what we're after. We'll put it in the maybe pile next to Condemn. Another thick vein of Doom Travellers. Icatane Javelineer is also a really cool one, but not going to get in. Sky Marcher Aspirant, I do like this card. It requires you having the City's Blessing, which is technically a token. This is a bit of a grey area with Barcube. I think I like Sky March Aspirant. No, as a card I really like it. Because City's Blessing is one of those ones where if it wasn't a token, it wouldn't really matter. So I think, let's bring this in here. We have 3 of our 5. Oust. Okay. I don't think Oust is going to get in. I stand by Oust as a bad Magic card. In high power level cubes, it's definitely something that is more needed. You need that cheap interaction. You need your smite effects and stuff. Like, you just need to interact with like broadside bombardiers and like turn 1 Ragavans. If you don't answer a turn 1 Ragavan, you're kind of buggered in powered cube. Else lets you do that. I mean, we could just Savannah line it. Maybe pile. It's a classic for a reason. Let's move Else over here. This is our actual running pile. What else do we have? I do like Flourishing Fox, but again, it requires a token. Thraben Inspector is phenomenal Magic card. I think this can go in literally every power level of cube. However, not this one because it makes a token. What else we got? Mana Tithe could be a vibe. I kind of like Mana Tithe, actually. No one expects Mana Tithe. As an instant, maybe pile, I think. Many Swords to Plowshares. This is how many white commander decks I used to have. Jesus, that is a thick vein. Alright, yeah, Frodo's cool. One thing with this cube is because it's not going to be sleeved, I'm probably not going to go with foils, especially new foils, because, well, this one's been in a sleeve since I got it. You will have curling, and I'm not really here for that. Periphery Nodes is a vibe. Soul Warden? We could Soul Warden. That would require us having a bit more thought in terms of archetypes, so we're probably not going to do Soul Warden stuff. But it could be there. I mean, another Savannah Lions. How many do we have? We have 2 already. That's probably enough Savannah Lions. Aunt May. No, can't do that. What does this one do? What does Lightstall Inquisitor do? When this creature enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. That seems probably actually quite good, but power level wise, not the vibe that we're going for. I'm more on the Sky March Aspirant, Wanderbrine Trapper than that. Damn, I do have a lot of Swords to Plowshares. How much are these worth? Yoshimaru is a cool one. It requires counters. Recruitment Officer is cool. I do want to have more than just aggro in white, but I do like Recruitment Officer. I'm kind of more up for that kind of effect than plain Savannah Lines, if I'm honest with you, just because I like... It's still 2026, and although I like the idea of old Boomer Magic, I still want players to actually do stuff, and like this is a reason... Like, having... You can't just have vanilla creatures even in a lower powered level cube. I still want people to be able to do more if they get mana screwed, that kind of stuff. So, something like a Recruitment Officer is a big upgrade for those type of cubes. So, there we are. Descendant of Storms. I need one of these for my regular cube, actually. Ooh. Tap target Spirit. Keep that to the side. We'll keep Kitsune Diviner in case we come up with a spirit sub-theme. Sunlance? I like Sunlance as a sorcery. We need 5 sorceries, including 1 bits of removal and 2 board wipes. Sunlance is a solid one. I'm going to put that to one side. An older border copy of Mana Tithe. Ooh, hold on. Yeah, now we're into the goodness. The old Magic cards. Do expect me to run some worse cards because I like them. Knight of Weeks. I probably can't play this unsleeved because it's got a sticker on top of it. What else we got? Dauntless Bodyguard is cool. This is actually just a good Magic card. Probably in the maybe pile. I'm just aware that we have so many. We have room for one more, and I want a bit more utility. Like, we're not going to get a Mother of Runes just because, again, playing unsleeved in a pub going to go badly. But I mean, it does protect something, so maybe that is the world we live in. Maybe that gets in a bit better. We're down to the last handful. On Thin Ice, we're not running Snowlands, so unfortunately not. I pan my camera, can you see my lovely face? Just right if I pan, you'll see the mess in the room. Ooh, no, there's the mess. There's the mess. Everything is very carefully organised in this room, so you don't see my shame. Portable Hoe is a cool one. We do need an artifact. Let's put that in the maybe pile. Tireless Tribe is a very cool Magic card. Ooh, make sure you can see it. Tireless Tribe is a very cool Magic card, but I don't think we're going to have enough discard combo stuff to make it work. What else do we have? Also, because this is not sleeved, it means unfortunately no flip cards. Something to consider. Are we just going to be aggroing in our white 1-drops? Cord Duelist is a fun one. It has double strike as long as it's equipped. That does mean bloody hell. That has the requirement of having to be equipped, and will mean that the cube needs to have a lot of equipment. That means it's going to be tricky in a cube without any tokens, because the way I like supporting equipment in cubes nowadays is with like Famiridan and the stuff where when you cast the equipment, you get a token creature with it already equipped to it. That I like because it means you don't have to run as like. Think of it like a bad combo. Like Core Duelist is like a bad combo. It's A plus B equals profit. So I need to draft and draw Core Duelist plus a good equipment to make this good. Whereas something like Batterskull is both parts. It is a creature and the equipment. So Core Duelist I think probably doesn't get in, but that's kind of where I am with that. Fighters 1 is a cool one, but I think it target creature gains. Okay, I like that. Target human creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible until end of turn, or target non-human creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains indestructible until end of turn. I do like combat tricks. This might be a good level, a good power level where combat tricks are good. So I think I quite like that. That is probably going to be one of our instants. Again, we'll put instant sorcery. So when I'm building, I'm primarily focusing on the curve. So the creature curve, because that's how the decks will actually play. So here are 4 of our 5 1-drops that you can see that we need to get on the list above me. But I'm keeping track. I'm basically putting the maybe pile to one side of here are cards I think will go in our instant sorcery artifact enchantments. We'll kind of pull them together once we've gone through all the white cards. Let's just finish off going through here. Ooh. Kajoran Warrior. 1/1 with banding. Who knows what banding does? And be honest. I do not. And I especially won't after a couple of beers, which is the point of this cube. Therefore, Kajoran Warrior probably comes out. So that means we still need one more white creature. So we currently have Recruitment Officer, Sky Marcher Aspirant, Healer's Hawk, and Wonderbrine Trapper. I think, so our maybe pile for 1 whites was Dauntless Bodyguard, Savannah Lions, Battlefield Raptor, and Samosian Sergeant. I think this is what we're going to do. We are going to put currently in right now this Dauntless Bodyguard. This is going to be our 5th 1-drop. However, we will be keeping track as we go through the box of the playable rebels. And if we get there, I'm kind of up for pivoting to a rebel archetype in here. That's kind of a vibe. I think with that, let's maybe over there, and let's move on to 2-drops. One sec, chat. One sec. Alright, there's a lot more 2-drops than 1-drops in this box. Ugh. When you see my green section, you'll realise I have a problem. Specifically, green 3s is unbelievable. That might be an episode in itself. But until then, let's get on to whites. White 2-drops. So you'll see above me the curve. We are going up the curve. We are looking for 9 white 2-drops. Let's just start going through. So, and again, 9 2-drop creatures. We are keeping an eye out on playable instant sorcery, artifacts, and enchantments as well. We're seeing what's in here that's a vibe. So something like Keep Out is a vibe, and it's probably more in line with the power level of removal we're in for this thing. Deal 4 damage to target tapped creature, so it can't just kill anything, but it also has a bit of flexibility with destroy target enchantment, so that's probably going to go in the maybe pile again. We'll come back to it later. Let's just go through again. We have this thick vein of birds that we're probably going to have to get through at some point before we then get to the rest of it. Ooh, okay. So we have here, we found one. Ramosian Lieutenant. 4 and tap, search your library for a rebel card with invoking mana cost 3 or less and put that card into play, then shuffle your library. So, ooh, hold on. So if we play this 1-drop and spend 3 mana, we can get this 2-drop and spend 4 mana and go up the chain. Maybe pile. Maybe pile. Ooh, we do actually... Ooh, hold on. Right. Don't worry, everyone. We found the thick vein of rebels. Fresh Volunteers. Steadfast Guard. Ooh, 2/2 with Vigilance. That's actually playable. That is not as bad as a 2-mana 2/2 with no abilities. We have Defiant Falcon. 2 mana, 1/1 flyer. Search your library for a rebel card with mana cost 3 or less. Put it into play, then shuffle your library. So that's a more playable rebel. And the thick vein of rebels ends there. So let's put these in the maybe pile. We're probably not running Fresh Volunteers, but I could see a world where we run Steadfast Guardian or Defiant Falcon. Alright. Now this is a proper Magic card. Phantom Nomad. This is the kind of nonsense pauper stuff I'm kind of here for. Not going to be enough on Pack Leader, not enough dogs. Again, Raise the Alarm would go into any kind of budget or lower power level cube I would be making, but again, we don't have tokens. That's kind of where we are. Again, we can't do anything with energy. We could do stuff with it. How does energy work in a bar cube? My gut is don't do it because you still need to track it. I basically want the ability to like track stuff on like it's the cube and a phone for tracking life. That's kind of all we're after. So probably not that. This is probably getting in pacifism. Classic. 1 and a white enchant creature can't attack or block. We need 4 enchantments, 2 of them to be removal. This probably just gets in. Similarly with Temporal Isolation, it's a similar type of effect. It's flash. Enchant creature has shadow, which means it can't block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow, and prevent all damage that would be dealt by enchanted creature. So it means that it can still technically attack. So it's worse in that it would still give attack triggers, but it prevents the damage. I do like Shadow, it's a vibe. And, like, maybe Bar, I think. I don't think we need Seal of Cleansing. Banalish Keeper's a fun one. Sleeper's a fun one. Just a solid Magic card. I could see Split Skin Doll getting in, maybe. If we're doing white aggro, it is a bit of card selection. That's quite cool. Alright, this one's just a good Magic card, and I think gets in Seal Away. proper Magic card. These are cards I'm running in like modern powered cubes. Flash. When Seal Away enters the battlefield, exile target tapped creature an opponent controls until Seal Away leaves the battlefield. Just a good one. We do need 2 removal enchantments. So I think let's do Pacifism and Seal Away. They are enchantments that remove something. I'm kind of here for that. That seems pretty solid. But we'll keep an eye out as we go through for more. Alright, I think this card is actually really good in lower powered level cubes. But people probably haven't seen it or played it that much because it's from Assassin's Creed, and no one needs to be reminded of their taxes while playing their hobby. But I think it's solid. Tax Collector, 1 white, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1 until your next turn. Spells your opponent's cast cost 1 generic more to cast, or detain target creature and opponent controls. That means until your next turn, that creature can't attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be activated. I quite like that. This is quite a solid Magic card. It's also just a 2-mana 2/2. I think this is going to be the first of our 2-drop. Where should we go? Here. The first of our 2-drops in white to get into. We do need 9, so we do need to keep cracking on with it. What else do we have? This card is phenomenal. However, it's, I'm assuming, Spanish? Apologies to any Spaniards out there. I believe that's Spanish. Attacco Improviso, or Italian. Lovely language no matter what it is. I'm playing at the pub. I don't have time to Google. So unfortunately it doesn't get in. If we had a normal bordered one, then or a normal, or a English version, I will say correctly, an English version, then we can consider running it. This is what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about how I like to support equipment decks. This is a Glimmerlens. It has the Famiridin thing, so it comes in and equips to it. This is also a proxy, for what it's worth. So, in my regular cubes, I run proxies all the time. In this cube, because it's going to have a different back when it's shuffled, and we're not playing with slaves, so therefore I can't run proxies in this cube. That's kind of one of the reasons why the budget is going to be a little lower, which is fine. Some other cards that I've just had a lot of fun with. Gary Clone I think is quite fun for lower power level cubes, however it makes a token, therefore we can't run it in this. Haystack is also a cool one. This isn't going to be an episode or a stream where we just start ragging on Universes Beyond. Play the cards you like. I picked up Haystack because I think it's actually quite a fun card. 1 white artifact. Target creature you control phases out. That's quite strong. It means that if you have a creature, it won't re-trigger ETBs. Phasing doesn't work that way. But it does mean that you can repeatedly have a creature dodge removal. I do need an artifact. That is more interesting than Portable Hole. We have Portable Hole over here. Haystack is more interesting, and one of the things with some of these cards is cards from these sets, these the original small sets, or the early Universes Beyond Commander sets, like the 40k stuff. There are so many cool cards in there, and the same with Doctor Who. They are sets that are built for multiplayer. Assassin's Creed wasn't technically built for anything. It was built to be open. But there's so many cool, interesting cards in them, which you don't get the opportunity to play that often, especially in one-on-one formats. Tax Collector, I think, is very cool one-on-one. I think Haystack could be cool as well. It's one of these ones where I kind of want to give it a go. So this is going to go in our maybe pile for the time being. I think it could just, in a control deck or something like that, or in a tempo deck, you just have your one creature in play, and your one control win condition in play, and this just means that they can't remove it, or they need 2 removal spells because I guess they could respond to the first one, or they cast a removal spell, you phase it out with the Haystack, and then they have to cast a second one. Them having to waste 2 removal spells is quite interesting, and it also I also like the idea of combat tricks in this cube. This is quite cool with combat tricks because once they are they going to use all their burn all their combat tricks to try and get to win combat when you have this out? That's an interesting predicament. I quite like that. So I think Haste, again, maybe pile. It's not a slam dunk yet, but I think it's quite solid. Talking of combat tricks, I like Mighty Leap. 2 mana, target creature you control gets +2 against flying until end of turn. We love evasion. There is a world where maybe the flying actually might not work in this because I want creatures kind of bunching into each other and then haha combat trick, haha combat trick. That feels very pub Magic to me. The fact that this gives it flying means that it might not... Like, it's good on defense, because you can still pump your thing up. Like, the flying doesn't matter if you're blocking. But my gut is we're probably not doing that. Oh, maybe. It's going to make up because I'm not sure what other instance we have. Again, proper Magic cards. Partly this is just me getting to talk about cards I like. I don't know what this card does. Idolized. 1 white enchantment aura. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks alone, it's +X until a turn, where it's the number of non-land permanents you control. That's fun. Kind of interesting in a deck with a flyer. Seems like it's a deck better in something with tokens. So my gut is this doesn't get into this because we are building a Barcube on. Let me just put this note up here or down here. We're building a Barcube, everyone. Reminder. Yeah, I don't think Idolize gets in for that reason, but it seems fun. What is this? Kajoran Guard. Target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn. If that creature leaves play this turn, bury Kajoran Guard. Use the ability only when attack or defense is announced and only if defending player controls no snow-covered lands. So we'll be fine on the no snow-covered lands part, but the playability of this card seems lacking. If it was a 2/2, but I mean, not in... When was this card printed? 1995. Yeah, you were not getting a 2-mana 2/2 in 1995. These kind of cards seem fine. They don't really stand out to me, though. I would love to run a card like Jack Knight in this, but it specifically puts counters on stuff, so therefore we can't run it. Loyal Warhound is interesting. 2 mana for a 3/1 Vigilance. When it enters, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for a basic land card, put that onto the battlefield, tapped and shuffle. That's pretty solid. 3 power in this cube on a 2-drop is probably going to be fine, and the Vigilance is quite nice. That can game for now. We need 9, and we haven't had one in a while. Ooh, and that Samwise is a good Magic card. 2 mana, 2/1 flash. When it enters the battlefield, choose up to 1 target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Return it to the battlefield. Oh, then the ring tempts you. Forgot about that. We're not doing ring temptation in this because that's an additional token. That kind of sucks. 2025 Magic card. Laughs at 1995 Magic card. This is a cool card that I've been wanting to try in a while, but I don't think we're going to have a density of legendary creatures to make it work. Senu, Keen-Eyed Protector. 1 white, 2/1, Bird Scout. Flying Vigilance. Exile it, you gain 2 life, scry 2. And whenever a legendary creature you control attacks and isn't blocked, if Senu is exiled, put it onto the battlefield attacking. Cool card, but I don't think we're just not going to have that density of legendary creatures. I mean, Failure kind of slaps. But it does counters, therefore it doesn't get in. Ooh, and it's a real one. Good. Might need to trade that. We could just run 4 Squadron Hawks. I don't hate running Squadron Hawks. The collection provides. What does Faith Healer do? Faith Healer do? 1 white. Sacrifice enchantment, gain life equal to sacrifice enchantment's total casting cost. Wow. Yes, 2 mana 3/3s for the win, always. A 2 mana 3/3 might just be the best card in this cube, is the issue. But we do like it. Apostle's Blessing is a cool one. If we're doing more combat trick stuff, I think some kind of protection is really cool. It's also, in theory, this could be a colorless card. Colorless. In that the white can be paid with Phyrexian Life. That's pretty cool. I do quite like that. Maybe a pile, I think, for us. Where are we? Anyone remember this draft format? This unstable or unsanctioned. This was a really busted card there. Search your library for a card with Augment. Combine it with target host you control, then shuffle your library. That was like the card where you kind of put a card... It's kind of like Mutate. Is that the one from Ikoria? There's too many magic mechanics. Alright. Unplayable in this because we have no tokens. Ooh, we could do some Bushido. Bushido's a vibe. 2 mana, 2/1 with Bushido 1. When this blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. You may pay X rather than pay the mana cost for samurai spells you play, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. What does that mean? Hold on. I just read that out loud, but what does that actually mean? You may pay X rather than pay the mana cost for samurai spells you play, where X is the spell's converted mana cost. Right, so it just color washes? So I don't need to play the color pips, I can just play colorless? That's interesting. Will require a high density of samurai. I don't think the collection will provide that much. Let's just go through. This is a fun one. Sun Gold Sentinel. 2 mana, 3/2. Whenever Sun Gold Sentinel enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 card from a graveyard. Having a bit of graveyard hate, I think, is always pretty solid. It has Coven for 1 and a white. I think Coven, yeah. Choose a color. Sun Gold Sentinel gains hexproof from that color until end of turn and can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. Activate only if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers. So I think that one's pretty good. A 2 mana 3/2. Not as good as a 3/3, but I think it's solid. That can get in the main piles. We have 3 of our 9. Ooh, hold on. We do have another samurai. Well, hello. Bushido 1. As long as you control legendary samurai, Konda's Hagamata gets +1/+2 and has vigilance. I would like to go down this line, but we've already got a maybe rebels pile. I can't have a maybe rebels, maybe samurai pile. We're just going with good stuff. Flip card, unfortunately can't run. Alright, I think we were just in the thick vein of samurai. Untap all creatures you control, samurai you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I think this is all this stuff is from a chaos draft we did a while ago. Moist of the Blessed, very cool card. Vitalizer's fun. Alright. Need to start getting through some of these. Reluctant Moral Mod is a great magic card. I really quite like this in regular cube. Spirited Companion, you can get in. This is just a good, fine magic card. 2 mana, dog. When it enters, draw a card. I think that's solid. We need 5 more now. Maybe it's Cathar Commando. I play this in basically all of my cubes. I think Cathar Commando gets in. That's 5 of 9. Going through. We do technically have 2 dogs. So, no. Stop getting distracted. I can't have a dog maybe pile as well as my samurai and rebels. Ooh. Adorned Pouncer is cool. Can we run Adorned Pouncer? This is another one where the way you play it is different to the way that, like... So, Adorned Pouncer, 1 and a white, creature, cat, double strike, eternalize 3 white. Which means exile this card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie cat with no mana cost. I'm actually, like... So, I think this is... The way this is played normally is... It's played in a sleeve. Like this. It goes to your graveyard, and then you do this to show that it's the eternalized version. However, we're not sleeving this cube either. So therefore, probably Adorned Pouncer doesn't get in. Very cool card, though. We would like some more Pisces, some more felines in this cube. But we're not there yet. Just a card I've been impressed by. Not going to get in this because it makes tokens, but is a very solid magic card. Is in my Unpowered Vintage cube. There we go. Let's have a look. Journey to Nowhere. Just goes in lots of things. We do already have 2 white enchantment removal, like creature removal spells, Seal Away and Pacifism. So I think we'll probably be alright, but Journey to Nowhere would just get in any... Realistically, any power level of cube is a fine magic card. Part of me just likes Pacifism because I played in Urza's block. And it was like, oh, this is what white does, cool. Ooh, Dark Mutation, again, similar sort of thing. I do like cycling cards. This probably isn't the cube for it. Again, we're going for more best of cards rather than like coming up with specific synergies. But it's something we can add potentially in the future once we play with it a little bit. This is a proper Magic card. I played this a bunch when I was a kid. Beacon of Destiny. 2 mana, 1/3 cleric. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, instead, that damage is dealt to Beacon of Destiny instead. Very annoying, very solid. Not getting in, unfortunately, unless the cleric deck works. I just don't think we're going to have the density again. We talked about equipment a bit earlier. I don't think we're going to get there with it. Ooh. I quite like Elite Inquisitor. I don't really have anywhere else to run this card, and I think it's rad. It does push white down more than mono white route, which I'm kind of okay with. I'm kind of fine having like one card that like, or a few cards that the white aggro deck is gonna get by itself. 2 mana First Strike Vigilance is gonna be fine in this type of environment, I feel, and there will be no werewolves in this cube. I can guarantee that because we're not going to have room for flip cards. But there will be some vampires and zombies. Like black's going to have some zombies. Red might have some vampires as well. I think that gets in. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So we need 3 more. It's going swimmingly. Ooh, yes. There we go. Standard bearers are awesome. This is a 1 and a white for a 1/1 creature Flag Bearer. If an opponent plays a spell or an ability that could target a Flag Bearer in play, that player chooses at least 1 Flag Bearer instead. So basically what it means is, if I have my lovely Elite Inquisitor in play and I have a Standard Bearer in play, they can't Doomblade this. They can't target this. They have to target this. You can still target your Elite Inquisitor with your Mighty Leap, but they have to pass the first removal spell at Standard Bearer. Standard Bearer is 100% getting in. It fills a role that I think white decks want. Yeah, it fills a role white decks want without being £1,000,000. So therefore, get in. Or by £1,000,000 I mean I have it in front of me. Like it's a card that's kind of like messing up what your opponent can do. It's a sort of hate-berry kind of card. It's protecting your board. Basically, what I'm trying to get is that this cube will not have a Mother of Runes in it. This is as good as we're getting right now. So I think that's 7. We'll keep going through. Precinct Captain is cool, but I don't think we're going to get there. I know we need some more sorceries, so we'll keep an eye out for that as we go through. Ooh, an old pacifism. This is the one I played with as a kid. Look at that. That's Khan. Very rad. Ooh, more Squadron Hawks. We're getting there. Another Samurai, anyone? Going through. There is a world where we should just run Disenchants, but I think we have something similar already. Oh, we have Cathar Commando instead, so I think we can get away with that rather than the Disenchant. I'm going to maybe pile this for the time being, just because Disenchants are important to run for synergy and that kind of stuff. Ooh, do love that one. Humble's fun. Just going through. Hidden Dragon Slayer's kind of vibey. 2 mana, 2/1 lifelink with Megamorph. No, Megamorph immediately puts a counter on it. Scratch that. This must have been from my conspiracy. This is all from my conspiracy period. Love conspiracy. I need a couple more. We're almost there. Relic Seeker's a fun one, but again, cares about counters, so we can't put it in. Phalanx Leaders also. So there's so many cool cards here, but I just don't think we've... Alright, let me talk to you about Paliano Vanguard. This is a proper... this is a really fun card for cubes. Oh, sorry, there's a question. Actually, does Flagbearer stuff up your opponent's buff spells? Yes. If they could cut... if they want to cast a Giant Growth, they have to target the Flag Bearer. It's any spell or ability that could target the Flag Bearer. They have to target the Flag Bearer. So it's not just eat the first removal spell. It also mucks up their ability. To play instant speed, Giant Growth effects on their own creatures. So good point. And that one, very cool card. But let's talk about Paliano Vanguard. 1 and a white, 2/2. Draft it face up. As you draft a creature as you draft a creature card, you may reveal it. Note its creature types, then turn Paliano Vanguard face down. Other creatures you control of a type you noted with cards named Paliano Vanguard get +1/+1. This is effectively a humans payoff. You can name any other creature. You can name any creature type, but realistically, in white, let's just look at how many humans. He says only revealing 2 when we have a Merfolk, a bird, a vampire, but I'm pretty positive this is a human, this is a human, this is a human, human, dog, human, dog, human. What a solid section. But effectively, this is a lord for humans, but it can be a lord for something else. So if you also say we're doing Merfolk in blue-white, this is effectively a lord for that deck as well. It's a bit weird, and you don't see it in many cubes, kind of purely because I don't think Conspiracy's on Mitgo, or like certain cards are, but they didn't put the whole set in. So this is just another. This is similar to a bunch of the. This is similar to like a card like Tax Collector. People just haven't really played with it. But Paliano Vanguard's a really fun one. I think it gets in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The pile's getting smaller. And we need one more. So Paliano Vanguard gets in. Opposing Sovereign, I think, is just too good. Creature control, enter the battlefield tapped. I don't know how much this card is. This might be one that I don't want to play unsleeved in a pub. But maybe. Is a good one. We have a thick vein of Samwises now. Jotun Grunt. If we can't find something better, or if we can't find an alternative, Imposing Sovereign will be getting in. That was it. Nyx Fleece Ram, that was the name of the card. I love that card. Unexpectedly Absent is a great one. Ooh, what about Hushbringer? Lips. Oh, hold on. Right. The last couple were quite interesting. We have room for one of these. We have Seasoned Hallowblade. 2 mana, 3/1. Discard a card. Tap Seasoned Hallowblade against Indestructible until end of turn. Hushbringer. 1 white, 1/2. Creature. Flying Lifelink. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger, so a nice little hate bear stops your opponent's ETBs. And Imposing Sovereign. 1 white. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. These are all pretty solid. I could see it's running out. Is there any obvious cuts, actually? It might be Spirited Companion. I kind of like the idea of having 2 of these in, if I'm honest with you. Question from chat. I'm pretty sure this would actually be a bird payoff. Draft the Squadron Hawks. I do quite like that. But we only have 9 slots, and like having 4 of them be 1 card, I don't hate it. It is the type of thing that this kind of Barcube could be pretty solid for. That might be something I'd come back and look at afterwards. Like I could see a world where we run 4 of those. We run 4 accumulated knowledges in blue, maybe. I don't hate that. That is kind of funny. I think for this though, I think I'm going to keep it singleton for the time being. I do like the idea though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have room for 1 more. I think I'm going to cut Spirited Companion. I'm not sure we're going to really have that much flicker in here. Spirited Companion I think is coming out, and I think we're going to do. This is a foil, so curling. All right, so we're going to do Seasoned Hallowblade and Imposing Sovereign. That's actually a pretty solid 2-drop. So our 2-drops are Imposing Sovereign, Seasoned Hallowblade, Paliano Vanguard, Tax Collector, Standard Bearer, Elite Inquisitor, Cathar Commando, Sungold Sentinel, and Loyal Warhound. These are all good Magic cards that I'd be okay if someone spilt a pint on. And that is the level that we are after. Love it for us. Alright. We also found an unexpected absence in the box, so that's going to go to one side. Let's put these away and let's move on to 3s. We need 7 3-drops. How long have we been live? Over 50 minutes? Okay. Maybe doing this all in like 4 hours was a bit optimistic. But fortunately, I have nothing to do tomorrow. Alright. So we need 7 3-drops. I will try and pick up the pace a little bit. I want to try and make it work. Mentor of the Meek. This seems like a pretty solid include. 3 mana, 2/2. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1, draw a card. This is a great mono white aggro card. Staple in like cubes from like 5 years ago. I think Mentor of the Meek is going to get in this cube. I'll show you what we're looking at. Banishing Light. And we do already have a lot of... We have our enchantment removals already. Right, Vryn Wingmare. Nailed it. 2 and a white, 2/1, flying. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. That's just a great Magic card. Getting in. These 2 are actually cards that I've recently put in... They're in another pile downstairs from my modern border cube. If they're going in that, from a power point of view, they can go in this as well, I think. We're all good. Ooh, a Johnny. Alright, let's talk about Gustcloak Harrier. I really like these cards. I'm not sure how good they are. It's a 3 mana 2/2 flying. When it becomes blocked, you may untap it and remove it from combat. There's like there's a vertical cycle of these. So I think there's like a 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop, something like that from Onslaught block. I like these cards. We might... This one has... This is a 3 mana 2/2 flyer that you always can attack, and if your opponent does something, you can remove it. I think you have to remove it at the declare blocker step. You can't wait to see what they're doing in combat in terms of like combat tricks, which probably means that it doesn't get in. But one of these cards will get in because I'm building this and I want to feel something. Ooh, okay. We've hit the rebels. Alright, let's talk about these. Lyn Civvy, Defiant Hero. Search your library for X and tap. Search your library for a rebel card with converted mana cost X or less. Put the card into play, then shuffle. Pay 3, put target rebel card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. If we are going deep in the rebels, then we are doing this. This is something that we will look at later. But we also have Ramosian Captain. We have Defiant Vanguard. And we have Mercenary Informer. 2/1. Can't be targeted black spells or abilities. And 2 and a white. Put target mercenary card on the bottom of its owner's library. Okay, so that with the effects that let you tutor through your deck means that you kind of build this engine. That's kind of fun. But in a world where we are still kind of playing like good Magic cards, the Rebel package might struggle. We'll put it there. Worst case, it stays in the pile with the goal of it being a commander deck, and then in 2 years I put it back in the box. That's the worst case scenario. Make a Move is a good interaction spell. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. It is very flexible, and I don't just want... Currently, we've got out like Condemn, Smite, Sunlance. I don't just want all my interaction to be 1 mana. I do want a curve. Like, in the thing above my head, it's not specifically curved out for instant sorceries and artifacts and jumps, but the idea is that you take the curve above it of the creatures as kind of like a rough guide. Again, that part is less fixed, but you can make it work. So I think Make Your Move is a very solid 3 mana one that we can do some good work with. Right, let's keep going. Roly Cotton is a great Magic card. Ooh, Fiend Hunter. So I just had to buy one of these because one of the things I'm doing in my modern boarded cube is I'm trying to make it be printings from that time. And this is the printings from 20. The card is from 2017, but it's from Mystery Booster, which I think is after. But Fiend Hunter is an awesome card. Fiend Hunter's getting in because it's cool and good. Getting the trials. Extraction Specialist is a cool one, but I'm not going to put a foil in. I don't hate Mirror Entity. 3 mana changeling until end of turn. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. That's kind of a vibe with Paliano Vanguard a little bit. It's a cool one. I think we'll put it in for the time being, and if it comes out, I wouldn't be surprised, but it is interesting. Like, effectively, this is White Overrun. You play this, the next turn you untap, you spend 5-6 mana buffing up your team, rumbling in. Potentially, could get in. What are we looking at? This card messed me up. It is symmetrical. 3 mana, white creatures get +1/+1. Threshold, white creatures get an additional +1 as long as there's 7 or more cards in your graveyard. That is symmetrical. It will not be going in because I will mess that up when I'm playing in the pub. Ooh. Garden of Ghirapur is a really good one. 3 mana, 3/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target creature and artifact you control. Return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. It's a flicker effect. We're probably not going to get Restoration Angel in here. But Garden of Ghirapur, it's a 3 mana, 3/3 flyer. That is going to be solid. Go through. We're not doing Ghostly Prison effects. Absolutely not. Are we doing Custody Peacekeeper? I don't think we are because it requires tracking. That is the main thing against Paliano Vanguard, is that it does require an additional level of tracking, but I think that's okay. This is a bit much. Archetype of Courage. Again, proper Magic cards. 3 mana, 2/2. Creatures you control have first strike. Creatures your opponent control lose first strike and can't have it or gain first strike. I think that's very cool. I can kind of see us. Yeah, I think it's going to go in the main part again. This is the current thick wedge of cards we have for white. We will consider it, and then we'll come back in a minute. Question from chat: Mirror Entity could be really problematic because Mirror Entity is a flag bearer that can absorb all. Ooh. I didn't think, yeah. Hold on. Mirror Entity could be a problematic because Mirror Entity is a flag bearer that can absorb. I think. Is it target a flag bearer or target. Oh, okay, yeah. Flag bearer, yeah, multiples, interesting. So, what's been pointed out in chat is Mirror Entity and flag bearer combo. Mirror Entity could be really problematic because Mirror Entity is a flag bearer that can absorb all -X/-X removal and power/toughness based removal with enough mana. Basically, Mirror Entity is all creature types, so it is a flag bearer. And also you can make your whole board be flag bearers as well if you have enough mana to pump into it. Meaning that but if your whole board is flag bearer, they get to target, which is interesting. I'm going to be honest, like, that's kind of a vibey interaction, though. This is the kind of thing of, like, if I put this together, I would like someone to build that. That's kind of cool. That's flag bearer, mirror entity, tribal type stuff. Seems quite vibey. It's not something, yeah. I don't know. I think for the time being, we're going to leave it in. But yeah, I do see that that's quite a. It could be quite a powerful interaction if they get it together. But there will be ways of removing it and interacting with it. Like, because in theory, because these are both flag bearers, this is the really problematic one. So they can target that, and they will have things like if they do attack, they'll have Seal Away. Otherwise, they'll have Portable Hole for standard bearer, or Condemn, I guess. Yeah, I think that's fun. That's one of the joys of Cube is finding cool interactions that you didn't expect. I look forward to someone better at Magic beating me with it at some point in the future. Wing Shards, anyone? A little bit of Storm. I do like telling my playgroup, there's Storm in this cube, don't worry. And it's Wing Shards. I already have Wing Shards in the cube, let's not do it again. Blessing, good magic cards. Is Elite Spellbinder too good? I think Elite Spellbinder might just be a bit too strong. Just because... Like, this is running Powered Cube. And, like, it will scale with the level of cards. Basically, Elite Spellbinder makes a card in their hand cost more to cast. So that does scale quite nicely with the power level of Cube. But... it's just a bit too good and efficient. Like, I'm fine with Fiend Hunter. Fiend Hunter's a vibe. Similar sort of effect. You're kind of nerfing something that they're doing. But this is also a 3-mana 3/1 flyer. I think Elite Spellbinder is too good. That's my initial... We are threading the power level as we go. And I just said 3-mana flyer, but activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. That is quite strong. Potentially. I quite like that. It's a card I own, and I haven't got to cube with it yet, so I can see that. Okay, this could... We've kind of dabbled a little bit with some lifelink in here. I don't want lifelink to be a whole thing. But I don't hate Halaya Guided by Light. It was kind of alright in pre-release. That's where this one has come from. 3 mana 3/3. Whenever it or another creature artifact enters under your control, you gain 1 life. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card if you've gained 3 or more life this turn. Warp for a single white. I think we just need... It's probably fine, but I just think we need more life gain payoffs. Like, in this type of environment, Mentor of the Meek is going to be way more consistent. I think it's a cool one, and it is a 3 mana 3/3. That's not... That's decent at the end of the day. What else do we have? What do you do? What the hell is this? When did I open this? 3 mana. Creatures you control get +1/+1. 5 and a white. Exile target non-land permanent you don't control until in the trenches leave the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and only once. That's kind of cool. I do like the idea of having like a Lord effect in here. Like another Lord effect anyway. For the white weenie deck. And that's quite good. It's a Lord that can... Like, I mean, it's not like getting into like a higher powered of a cube, but this seems pretty good. Alright, in the trenches is going to go into our maybe pile. Let's just double check quickly how many... We needed 7 3-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just quickly scroll through the rest of the section. Lauren, great card. Probably not getting in this. There's Thalia, also great. Oh, I think I like Thalia more than Clarion Conqueror. Same with Hushwing Grift. Or Griff. Alright, I think from a power level point of view, I think we're going to go for Kajani Sunwing over Clarion Conqueror. I think let's go with this one. Again, I enjoy this card more than this one. And I think from a power level point of view, this one is strong. And it stops people having fun. Like, this effect is good. Yeah. This stops people doing stuff. This stops them, but only for a turn. It's a tempo play. I think I like that a bit more. That seems like a decent swap for me. All right, getting through. We still on the lookout for like instant sorceries, enchantments, and artifacts. 5 kids in a trench coat. All right. We do also need to keep an eye out for board wipes as well. Probably not any in 3 mana, but as we start going up the mana curve, we will keep an eye out for them. Ooh, Mavrin Fane. Love that. Fiendslayer Paladin. Great magic card, but probably... I'm going to maybe board that. Just because I like looking at it. I think it's a cool card. More burbs. Silverblade Paladin. This is a cool one. 3 mana, 2/2 with Soul Bond, which means you may pair this creature with another unpaired creature when either enter the battlefield, they remain paired for as long as you can draw both of them. As long as Silverblade Paladin is paired with another creature, both creatures have double strike. That's a cool Magic card. That might get in a maybe pile. These all care about tokens and counters, so they're not getting in. Why do I have so many copies of Sergeant of Arms? Keep going through. Question from chat. A Lord effect you could order and isn't worth much of all is Banalish Muscle. Yeah, Banalish Muscle's a cool one. Being honest, I have 3 cubes that I'm in the process of buying Magic cards for. I'm like 350 cards. I've got it in a Moxfield. I don't want to. I'm not spending any money on this. I think there's a Banalish Muscle in this. We have this many cards. Banalish Muscle is a great one. We have. Let's have hope. I'm pretty sure there'll be a Banalish Muscle in here, and that does seem like a very cool one. Even Mind Sense is cool. I want Fabled Hero to be good in a cube, but it needs a really specific cube. Not this one, because it cares about counters, but if you're doing the Feather the Redeem stuff is really cool. What do you do? Oh, Bird Soldier. Damn you, birds. That's a proxy. More of the Skyclaves. That might be our artifact. When it enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has flying and first strike, and it can equip for 2 white if it comes off the first creature. That might get in. We do actually have room because we're not doing Planeswalkers. We do actually have room for an additional effect of something, so I could see us running an additional artifact to get this in. I quite like that. Let's go through. Sanguine Evangelist. Apparently the best card in Powered Cube. Outrageous. I love Pegasus Courser. Flying whenever it attacks another target creature. Gains flying until end of turn. I really like draft environments that have white having an ability to jump other creatures. It's just pretty solid and pretty good. Do I have Spear of Heliod? I don't think in this box. Also, I think Spear of Heliod makes tokens. So we are building a bar cube, which, as a reminder to everyone, is going to be unsleeved and no tokens and no counters. Spear of Heliod. I was touching on the other cubes that I'm building. Spear of Heliod is a slam dunk in my modern bordered cube. It's in there and is really solid. I think I ordered one for that yesterday. But I'm not going to get into this cube, I think, because again, we're trying to do it with what's in the box, what we have available to us. I think that brings an end to white. Danitha's a really cool one. But again, we're not really going that deep on the equipment. Let's review white before we white 3s before we move on to white 4s. So we needed 7 white 3-drops. So we have Kajani Sunwing, Mirror Entity, Fiend Hunter, Archetype of Courage, Guardian of Girapol, Vrin Wingmare, and Mentor of the Meek. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're going to cut Archetype of Courage, although I love this. I think it's from the I got this in the pre-con when me and my wife came back to Magic. I think this was a journey into Nick's pre-con. It's really worn down because we were playing it by the pool. But I think we're going to bring in Silverblade Paladin in its place. I think that's just really cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. All right. Let's keep it going. We are on 4 drops now. And we need 4 of them. You didn't see that. But some cards went everywhere. It'll be fine. Yeah, for those just joining, welcome. We are in the process of building a bar cube. Above my head is the set skeleton that we're going to is the cube skeleton we're going to be using. A link to download it is in the show notes, as well as a link to an episode of the Power for Nothing podcast where we talked about how using a cube skeleton is one of the easiest ways to build a cube, because effectively you come up with your constraint. In this instance, we're building a bar cube. We're building a cube with no tokens, no counters, and a cube that is going to be played unsleeved. And we're just adding cards that fit the mana values of the things we've put out, and the constraints of the set skeleton. And by the end, we will have a functioning cube. That is the point of this in this process, is that it's just a nice way of getting the basics down. You could, like, a set skeleton is great at giving you that first pass to just know it's going to work. Afterwards, you can then add your rebel package, for example. Ooh. But for the time being, let's go through and get 4 white 4-drops. Would be a cool one. Unfortunately, no commanders in this. Ooh. Now this is a vibe. Ageless Sentinels. 4/4 flying. When it blocks, its creature type becomes giant bird. Oh, it's a wall. Sorry. 4 mana, 4/4 wall. When it blocks, its creature type becomes giant bird. So it's no longer a wall. This effect doesn't end at the end of turn. What this means is that once this is from a time in Magic where Defender wasn't a thing. This will have been errated, I'm guessing, to have Defender, and then when it blocks, it loses Defender and becomes a giant bird. The actual walls didn't used to have walls can't attack on them. Like the creature type walls couldn't attack. I think that's kind of funny. A pretty solid card for a control deck. Just a big dumb thing that they're going to run creatures into. I quite like it. Where else am I going to get to play Ageless Sentinels? Maybe Pile. We'll see what else we have. Alright. Parhelion 2 is a vibe, but it makes tokens, so we can't run it. More Bushido. Alright, we... Similarly to the Rebels, I have a feeling that when I put... Everything from certain packs went in together. So this is the Chaos Draft Samurai section. Shan's Expertise is a good one. Vexless Praetor is a great card, but it requires us having a commander, so it isn't going to get in. Palace Jailer. This is still a fantastic Magic card. The Monarch is still broken. However, the Monarch is a token. It would be fine. Like all my everyone in my playgroup would be fine remembering this, but it's not something that I think I want in this environment. Basically, like things like the Monarchy and things like the Initiative is just a whole... It's a whole conversation. Like, effectively, cubes with the Monarchy and cubes with Initiative are... They're different to cubes without, if that makes sense. I kind of don't want to go down the rabbit hole of having the Monarchy in this cube. Again, we're going to be playing in the pub. I don't think that's what we're after. Let's keep going. Right, Wrath of God. I do need a Wrath. I would prefer if it wasn't a Foily Boy. We'll put it in the maybe pile. I'm going to have a bunch of 5-mana ones, so that should be fine. Or, you want to see a bad proxy? Okay, back. Real Magic card. Front. What's this? It's a lovely foil Arena Rector. I don't know if you can see it. It is so much thicker. Where's the camera? This was done with the like acetone technique. So this was a foil Magic card that I used nail polish remover, scrubbed it off the artwork. You get a really pretty card because it's basically the front. It's a foil Magic card with no art on the one side of it, on the foil side, which is really cool. And then this is like a window sticker decal. Like it's fine in a sleeve. Like it. These are fine, but I've moved on to NPC fill ones now, just as proxies because they're generally a bit... Like, this looks okay. Doing it was a ball ache because you really have to, like, line up your stickers, and that's a whole pain in the ass. But I stopped using them because like this, you won't be able to tell, but it feels like it is thick. There is so little given it. You can, when it's double sleeved, it's not super noticeable, but it's almost noticeable. It's almost a thing of if you were holding a hand of 7, you could feel which one was the window sticker decal card. Something to think about if you're making your own proxies. It's great because this card was expensive when I made it. It probably still is now. I don't know how much this card is, but like it was a method that let me build my first cube. Therefore, I do not regret doing it. But I think NPC fill is just a better way of going. This channel is not sponsored by anyone, so do them. So that is my honest opinion, not endorsement or anything like, or not a paid endorsement or anything like that. Well, we need 4. Oh, we only need 4. We're getting through. Decree of Justice is a fantastic Magic card. I don't think we're going to be adding it because it makes tokens. What are we after from a white 4-drop? 1 big beefy flyer, which we kind of have with this lab, but like just some other cool effects. Can't run a flip card, unfortunately. Core Cartographer is a cool one, but it's just very mid. In a world where we're running like Silverblade Paladins and Maul of the Skyclaves, I don't think we can run Core Cartographer. Where are my good white 4-drops? Ooh. A second Flag Bearer, anyone? Can't get that deep. We can't run a 4-drop Flag Bearer. Ooh. Alright. Windborne Muse, maybe? It's a good Magic card. There's a world where this is probably too expensive for I'm assuming this card is more than like $5. Could be wrong. I don't think it's in. I think that's one I want to trade. Ooh, question. If someone decides to put the Monarch effect in a cube, how many Monarch cards should they include? I recently decided to add some, but only have 2. Not sure if it's enough. The short answer is there isn't a minimum. It depends on the card. The more you add, the more you need to be okay with games in your cube becoming about that. So if you add 1 or 2, it's more just like an effect that card does. So if I just added Palace Jailer to this cube, it would be just an effect that Palace Jailer does, and it's not gonna affect every game. The more you add, the more games become about that. Especially like when I've kind of played about with both the Monarchy and the Initiative a bunch. Honestly, I think a light touch is probably better because it comes up every so often and it's not something that is a thing as much. Like when I've had Initiative in my cube, I ran a lot of it. I personally really liked games of Magic that revolved around the Initiative, but it definitely became a thing of like when I added like 5 or more. I think I had about 5 Initiative cards in my 540 unpowered vintage cube. But most rounds there was like 2 or 3 games that revolved around the Initiative, and for me, I like that. But for other people in my play group, it got a bit samey. It meant that things like combo decks were getting punished. It meant you had to play to the board, which some decks just don't want to do. I wanted Doomsday, I wanted Storm to be a thing in my cube, and just having too many of those cards really started warping the environment around it. So my honest opinion is run them if the card is worth it. So Initiative is definitely more egregious than the Monarchy. Like, depending on what they were, like I'm assuming as well this is a relatively mid to high powered level cube. Like, I wouldn't. Like, I know there's some. Like, I personally wouldn't run Initiative and Monarchy in like Pauper or Peasant cubes, just because they become way too much of like it's just too much of the best thing that the cube is doing. It's kind of like there's the decks that are doing that thing and the decks that aren't. Like, if I saw just Palace Jailer in a high powered level cube, I would think that that's fine. It's more how much of the environment you want it to be around that thing. And if you like I like to me, I prefer all games of Commander that have the monarchy in it because it incentivizes people to attack. 1-on-1 is a little bit different because it really only rewards that one type of deck, the creature dense deck. So if that's what your cube is, then add more. Like if you're not doing things like Storm or like spell based combos, that kind of stuff, then it's not as bad. Yeah. A light touch, I think, is a good place to start, and then you can slowly add more. Is the shorter version, but yeah, very good question. Right, we still only have 1 4-drop. We need 3 more. Because of where we are, Queni, Pride of Femeth, double strike. Creatures you control with first strike have double strike. Oh, we don't have enough first strike. Damn, I thought we had something there. Let's keep going. I would love to run Dawnbreaker Charioteers, but it needs a certain type of cube, and it needs one that doesn't have counters in it. Similarly with Basri's Lieutenant, call it a combo card. Persist combo based card that, like all persist combos, I have not got working in my cube. Ooh! I think we found one. Kadoya, Soul of Kamigawa. 4 mana, 3/3 flash flyer. When it enters the battlefield, another target permanent you control gains indestructible for as long as you control it. And it has a Wooburg, it gets +5/5 until end turn. That just seems like a solid magic card. 4 mana, 3/3 flyer that protects something. I mean, considering we currently only have this dumb wall, we found an improvement. Hooray. Alright, let's keep going. Ooh, Tashar's a cool one as well. Whenever you cast a historic spell, return target creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield is also a 4 mana, 2/2 flyer. That seems like a maybe. It really does require how much instant sorceries we have. Oh, sorry. Not instant sorceries, legendary creatures and artifacts. Primarily, we're not going to have any sagas in here because that requires counters. Where are we going? It seems all my 4-drops require me to make counters or put stuff on things. I know I was talking good about NPC feel, but this is a dreadful proxy. The annoying part is it kind of looks fine on camera, but the colours are it's so contrasty. Like, where's an actual card from this time period? Like, not the same set, but similar set. You can kind of, I hope you can see that is like a creamy colour. This is like a white. It's not what we're after. The vibes are not good. All right. Ooh, Opal Titan. I know I was complaining about only having a bad old card in here. Prepare for another one. 2 white. Whenever one or more opponents successfully cast a creature spell, if Opal Titan is an enchantment, Opal Titan becomes a 4/4 creature with protection from each of that spell's colours and counts as a giant. I quite like that. Does it do anything if your opponent doesn't play any spells and you're behind? No. That is a phenomenal situation of you. Your opponent has had an aggressive start. You need a creature to stabilize you. You play Opal Titan. They don't play any more creatures, and you lose the game. I love that. All right, fine. We're not running Opal Titan. Cool card, though. Hero of Bladehold. I've lost my real version of this. This is another one of the... I did the foiling. Looks better than it feels. Come on, give me 2 playable creatures. Otherwise, we are going to add the monarchy in because I feel I need some good magic cards. Range of Eos is a decent one. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 1 or less. Reveal them, put them into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. I think I like that. I think Range of Eos is getting in. I know there's some new goodness ones, but we don't have those. Kajuran Scout. Sorry. Oh, it's 2 copies of Kajuran Escort. Different artworks. That's why I didn't notice it. 4 mana, 2/3 with banding. Love a little bit of banding. It'll be fine. Okay, good. All right, we have a good magic card. Everything's a chat. It's going to be okay. Angel of Condemnation. Please don't make a token. 4 mana, 3/3 Flying Vigilance. 2 and a white, exile another target creature, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. 2 and a white, tap it, exert Angel of Condemnation, exile another target creature until Angel of Condemnation leaves the battlefield. So you can either flicker something, or you can Oblivion Ring something. This has like a bolognese stain on it, which is lovely. Perfect vibes for Barcube. It's pre-stained. Alright, Angel of Condemnation is getting in. That is actually a good Magic card. Ooh, and Baird, Steward of Argive is also a cool one. 4 mana, 2/4 Vigilance. Creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. I quite like that. Okay, we found some bangers at the end. Citadel Siege. I'm not reading this Magic card. Ooh, Dusk is cool. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater, and Aftermath. Return all creatures cards with power 2 or less from your grave to your hand. That seems like a nice little board wipe for this power level of cube. Not a real Ravagers of War. You can't tell by the fact it's foil. Alright. Oh, we have a couple more. Alright. Oh, the Cleric deck coming together. And a better proxy Ravagers of War. Auriok Salvagers. I don't think the budget of this cube is going to get to Auriok Salvagers Lotus combo. Halavar's a cool one, but it's a flip card. Cool. I think we have them. Let's have a look at these. So these are the kind of cards we're working with. We're working with Tashar, Baird, Angel of Condemnation, Ranger of Eos, Kadai. I apologise for butchering the name of these cards. Ageless Sentinel. I have a stutter. Talking is hard sometimes. Alright, we need 4 of these. I'm going to go with... The best card in this bunch by far is Angel of Condemnation. Slam dunk, get in. I then like Ranger of Eos, because we need something for white. I think we're then going to go Bard for the slower decks, and Kadaya, Soul of Kamigawa. I think those are going to be our 4 white 4-drops. Unfortunately, this one is going back in the box for another day. But I'm going to keep Tashar out because there's a world where when I look at our artifacts later and our legendaries, Tashar becomes better. So we'll keep an eye on it. But I like these. I think this is solid. Like, we have something for everything. We have fine aggro card, control-y card, fine aggro card. But also, these are also fine in slower decks as well. I think that's pretty solid. Just casual bar banter trying to re-explain banding. Yes. I feel I know enough the rules and banding to get through like vibes, but not to sit here and explain it to people. No banding for today. Alright, let's move on. Alright, to put the 4s away and get the 5s out. Fortunately, we only need 2 5s now. Although, this is probably where we start looking for things like board wipes. That's probably where we are. Like a 5-man... I think Wrath of God is probably going to be too good for this power level of cube. But a 5-mana one, I think, is going to be fine. Alright. Defiler of Faith would be sick, but it makes token. I really like the Defiler cycle. I think they're all pretty good. Slash the Ranks is just a 5-mana Wrath of God. Destroy all creatures and planeswalkers except for commanders. In 1-on-1, this is just a 5-mana board wipe. This card must be cheap. It's a card I'm fine pouring a pint on. That card's really pretty. Does nothing in this. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, do nothing in this cube. Where are we? We only need 2 creatures. But again, we're probably on the lookout for a board wipe. We also have Fell the Mighty. Actually, we do need 2 board wipes. We have Dusk that I kind of like as a board wipe. Again, we are going by the thing above my head. We are working with that. Ooh. I wish this lad was playable. I mean, it's technically playable, but it's... No, Stop trying to convince yourself to run Jared Capuchin. Actually, we'll leave him there until we find something better. Not so great a proxy, but we're fine. Sphere of Safety is not going in. Ooh. This is a banger Magic card. Triumph of St. Catherine. This might be one that's randomly really expensive. I don't know. 5 mana, 5/5 lifelink. When it dies, exile it and the top 6 cards of your library in a face-down pile. If you do, shuffle that pile and put it back on top of your library. Miracle for 1 and a white. So this effectively can be a 2 mana 5/5 with lifelink. Really good. I have a feeling like this is one of those cards that Cubers had their hands on first and found out it was really good, and then formats like Legacy and Vintage tried it a little bit, and things like Canlander also tried it a bit. Very good Magic card. I think I want that in my regular cube, actually. Why is this not in my regular cube? This is going in a different pile. This is going in the add to my unpowered Vintage cube because it's cool. But if we have a second one, it might get into here. Winds of Wrath. There we go. There is our board wipe. That is the most generic. Destroy all creatures that aren't enchanted. They can't be regenerated. That's a bit better than this because I don't want to confuse my players with the commander rule in one-on-one formats where there's no commander. Ooh. No, you don't work. You care about counters. You care about counters. Thalia's Lancers. There we go, that's a cool one. 5 mana, 4/4, first strike. When it enters, search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. That, I think, is a pretty solid power level for this type of cube. Just getting the best legendary out of your deck is going to be pretty good. Like, effectively, it's a 5 mana, 4/4 with first strike that draws you a card. That seems solid. That's probably going to get in. Karmic Guide, I don't hate. 5 mana, 2/2, protection from black. Echo. And when it enters return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't know if we're going to get to combos with Karmic Guide, but just having it in is kind of fun. Cataclysmic Gearhulk is also a vibe, but just from a annoyance, but just from. I think this is a very strong card and it could be cool to get in, but it does probably just ruin games rather than make them fun, if that makes sense. Like, I want these games to be enjoyable. Karmic Guide is going to do more cool stuff than Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Still a cool card, but I don't think it's the kind of vibe that we're after. So these are the two we're currently looking at. What else we got? Route is another cool one. Actually, I like Route. I think I like Route more than Winds of Wrath. Again, we are kind of semantics here, but this one can be instant speed. That's kind of a bit more interesting. What else we got? You all do stuff with tokens. Ooh, I've never seen this kid before. Marvellous. Another Karmic Guide. I think we're okay. Ooh, but Trapjaw Tyrant is vibey as hell. Let's just quickly go through and plot anything else because we're almost at the end of 5s. That's a cool card. I don't think that's what we want. Lystrith Wonderglyph, also a very cool card in slower cubes. So I'm trying to get through this. Alright. Which of these are we vibing with most? Trapjaw Tyrant, Thalia's Lancers, or Karmic Guide? So we haven't read Trapjaw Tyrant. 3 white, 5/5. Enrage. Whenever it is dealt damage, exile target creature and opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Is it just a bit generic? I'm leaning towards these two, actually. I think I'm going to go with Karmic Guide and Thalia's Lancers. We'll leave this in the maybe pile. I think I like those a bit more. Like, this just does more fun stuff. It has a higher potential upside. This is a bit more generic, but I think we're okay. Alright, let's keep going. We now want 6 and 7 drops. Because these are in my organisation, these are next to each other. So we're going to find 1 6 and 1 7 drop. If I can't find a 7-drop, I'm going to add a second 6-drop. That's a nice little thing that you can do. Alright, Angelic Aberration. No, you do not. You make a token. Ooh, I think I have a 7-drop. This card's cool. Angel of the Ruins. 5 white for a flying artifact creature angel. Sorry, the camera's up here. Marvelous. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target artifacts or enchantments, but it has plain cycling for 2 generic. So this is effectively a reanimator target. We'll probably have some bad reanimator stuff in here. Like it will be present, but not. Entomb Reanimate isn't going to be here, but like a 4-mana Reanimate spell probably will. This is quite nice. I'm quite high on Angel of Ruins, and also, being honest, there aren't a tremendous amount of good, playable 7-drops in white. Aegis Angel is kind of a cool 6-drop. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent gains indestructible for as long as you control Aegis Angel. That's kind of fun. That's probably quite high. It might just be Sun Titan. There's got to be a Sun Titan in this box. Pristine Angel. Attraction from all artifacts and all colours. When you cast a spell, you may untap it. Vibey. Ooh, these are some nonsense magic cards. Ooh, Ardent Angel. Friend of the channel, Firetrap Modo, was playing this. There was a brief period of time where he was playing this in Dredge. Like vintage Dredge. It seemed like that boy knows more about Bazaar of Baghdad than I do. 6 mana, 4/4 flyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Ardent Angel is in your graveyard, roll a 4-sided die. If the result is 1, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is the kind of card I would like to run in something like this, but it requires rolling a dice. In Dredge, in theory, if you put if you mill your whole graveyard into your deck into your graveyard, or a bunch of it anyway, these will come back. They will trigger your prized amalgams. That will then start triggering a bunch of other stuff. Why this was specific tech is because I don't think this has ever been programmed onto MitGo. Or it definitely wasn't at the Eternal Weekend he was thinking of attending. But it is some hot tech. I apologise, Josh, if I've just ruined your tech plan for the upcoming Vintage or Legacy season. But I love you. That Ardent Angel is a very cool card. I bought one because you were talking about it. Alright, another Aegis Angel. Ooh, Angelic Skirmisher. I think we can. I kind of want more efficient, though. We haven't got much beef at 5, so I want the 4-drop to be actually good. Ooh, I don't hate Realm Cloak Giant as a 7. It also comes with a board wipe. That's kind of cool. I am just going through looking for Sun Titan, if I'm honest with you, because that's a proper magic card. A Chroma Angel of Wrath is a good one. Ooh! Big Rebel. Ooh. Oh, okay. Ooh, I might have found my 6, actually. Exalted Angel. 4 mana, 4/5 flyer. When it deals damage, you gain that much life. Not lifelink. If you give it lifelink, you gain double life, and it has morph. Is this good enough in this cube? I hate that it's probably not going to get in. We have 2. Lovely and foil. There, yeah. It's just Sun Titan, isn't it? I think it's just Sun Titan as our 6-drop. It's just going to be generically, I think, one of the best things that we can be doing. And I don't get to play with Sun Titan enough. So I think we're going to go Sun Titan and maybe Angel of Ruins. I'll just have a quick look through to see if there's any other 7-drops that stood out. Not massively. Or not ones that I'm kind of alright putting in a bar cube. I think we're going to go with that. Part of me... actually, no. Let's do Realm Cloak Giant. I think Realm Cloak Giant is going to be more fun than the Reanimator card. Cool. So, we, in theory, now have all of our white creatures. We'll go through these in reverse order, and then we'll start going through the rest of our white section. So again, we're using the skeleton that is above my head. If you look at the top line under creatures, we should have 29 creatures here. And that's what we're going to fill in. So let's go. We'll go order down. So we have 0 8 drops. We don't need them in white. We have 1 7 drop, Realm Cloak Giant. We have 1 6 drop, Sunny Tea. We have 2 5 drops in Thalia's Lancers and Karmic Guide. In 4 drops, we have Kodoi, Soul of Kamigawa, Ranger of Eos, Baird, Steward of Argive, and Angel of Condemnation. That is the weakest part, if I'm honest with you. If there was another 4 drop, actually, where's my trade binders around here? 1 sec. Let's quickly have a look if there's a white 4 drop that's better, and put that in. Trades, chat, trades. Another Kodai, Soul of Kamigawa, marvellous. Another Tashar. Nope, okay, that's what we're working with. Let's move on to 3s. We needed 7 3 drops. So Silverblade Paladin, Mentor of the Meek, Vryn Wingmare, Garden of Girapur, Fiend Hunter, Mirror Entity, Kalani Sunwing. Pretty solid, right. 9 2s. This is where the bulk of the white goodness is. Standard Bearer, Paliana Vanguard, Sun God Sentinel, Loyal Warhound, Cathar Commando, Elite Inquisitor, Tax Collector, Seasoned Hollowblade, and Imposing Sovereign. Very solid there. Then we needed 5 1-drops. Wonderbrine Trapper, Healer's Hawk, Sky Marcher's Aspirant, Dauntless Bodyguard, and Recruitment Officer. And that's all pretty solid. We have some fun little synergies in here. Like we have a bit of a human-based synergy. Yeah, I think Silverblade Paladin is probably going to be our... Oh no, Baird and Ranger of... Ranger of Eos and Thalia's Lancers are all humans. There's a little bit of human synergy in here. When we get to blue, there might be some flying synergy. That all seems pretty solid. I'm kind of happy with that. I think as a starting point, that's all great. So let's go over our other sections. So Planeswalkers, we're not going to run because this is a bar cube. I'll point to the side. We're building a bar cube. So that means no counters or tokens, and Planeswalkers all come with counters. So let's do instance. Let's see what we pulled out while we were building that. We do want at least 3 of these to be removal as well. So instance, we have Make Your Move, Unexpectedly Absent, Disenchant, Mighty Leap, Apostle's Blessing we pulled out. Ooh, these are not on camera. Apologies. I'm so ham-fisted. Right, we have these. What other instance did we have? Keep Out, Fighters 1, Mana Tithe, Smite and Condemn. So we need 6 instants. So from these we're going to take 6. So I think we can scrap Disenchant if we run Make Your Move. It's a removal spell and also a Disenchant. That seems nice. I would like one of these to be a Disenchant. What else? I want Fighters 1. We talked about combat tricks a little bit. I think I quite like them. I think we're going to do Fighters 1, Mighty Leap, and Apostle's Blessing. Then that means we're going to do Make Your Move, Unexpectedly Absent, and Condemn. That means we're leaving Smite on the cutting room block, Mana Tithe, unfortunately, and Keep Out. Keep Out is basically Make Your Move, but it doesn't hit artifacts. Unexpectedly Absent will just remove anything. I think that's okay. I'm kind of happy with that. Let's move. So those are our instants. It's also a nice spreading curve. If I do it from a curve point of view, we have Condemn. We have Fighters 1. At 2 mana, we have Mighty Leap. Apostle's Blessing. Yes, you could cast it for 1 mana, but whenever there's anything like this, as the cube builder, it is your duty to put it where it makes you look best. And it makes me look best by putting it in 2. That's why it's a 2-drop. Likewise, Unexpectedly Absent is a 3-drop, as is Make Your Move. Or maybe Unexpectedly Absent is a 4-drop. Look, we have a little curve. That seems pretty solid. I'm happy with that. Alright, now we need 5 sorceries, 1 removal, 2 board wipes. The rest, vibes. I think we might be short on sorceries, actually. Let's have a look. So we have Dusk. We have Rout. We need 3 more. Interesting. We were a bit short. Alright, anything in this pile? No. Alright, let's... Fine, I'll add Oust. We need at least 2 more sorceries. Interesting. So we have our removal, we have our 2 board wipes. So we just need... So this is one point where the bar cube might just need a bit of extra help from the set skeleton, because a lot of sorceries, like immediately find one in the box, a lot of sorceries in white will make tokens. So that's why we kind of scrimped, or that's why we struggled to find numbers here a little bit. So I know I need to talk into the mic. Let's have a quick look through and see what other sorceries there are. We are going to run 2 of the finest sorceries from the pile of cards that I'm pulling out. One last job. What do we think? 3 mana with Spree, plus 2 return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, plus 1 return target mount or vehicle card from your graveyard to the battlefield, or plus 1 return target aura or equipment card from the graveyard to the battlefield attached to a creature you control. 5 mana reanimation spell in white. Get in. We need 1 more. When you're building your cubes, do not feel like you have to do this. I consider myself good at vibe-based building. That kind of does come from building a bunch of cubes. I'm also building from the collection I have around me in boxes. The other way of doing this is obviously you load up Scryfall and you start going through that way, and you... One of the nice things about the set skeleton is you can... I need 1 white drop creatures, so I go into Scryfall, I do white drop creatures, search. Or creatures white that cost 1 mana. I find the 5 I like, I put them in. And if you're building a peasant cube, you can set it to be commons and uncommons. If you're building a pauper cube, you can do commons. The way I did my old bordered cube is I did printings for up to 8th edition. My modern border cube I did from 8th edition up to 2020. That's a nice way of doing it. Like if you're building a cube where like those are your constraints, where you can define it, it's really nice. Like the set skeleton are just a really easy, awesome way of building cubes very efficiently. Like I'm obviously faffing because I'm also talking at camera, and there's definitely a point of streaming where a portion of your brain is going to talking, not thinking about this. Ooh, hold on. Vengeful Dreams? Dare we? Could we? White, as initial cost to play Vengeful Dreams, discard X cards from your hand, remove X target attacking creatures from the game. Oh, it's an instant. And also bad. So we're not running that. Give me a sorcery. What other kind of sorceries are there? Open the Armory? 1 right, search your library for an aura or equipment card, put it into your hand and shuffle. That's going to be a potential. We need some payoffs for it. I know, it's... Honestly, sorceries that don't make tokens is very hard. Like there will be more that exist in Magic, but the ones that I have kept that are good and playable will generally do that. Divine Gambit seems vibey. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchantment for an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. That seems a bit risky. I need 1 more sorcery. Because, yeah, normally I'd be running something like Martial Coup. These are the type of sorceries we generally run in Cube. It might be a world that we just swap to running another instant. Yeah, I kind of want something else, but I think we're just going to go Sunlance. Like we haven't gone most efficient in terms of our instant speed, so For our 5 sorceries, we're going to do Sun Lance and Oust. We're then going to do Dusk, Route for some board wipes. And then we're going to do one last job as some recursion. I think that's the best we can do, really, with what's available to us. Primarily because, yeah, most sorcery speeds, most sorceries in white are either removing stuff that we've already got or making tokens or doing stuff with counters. That's not where we're going with this. Artifacts. We actually have room for 2 because we're not running a Planeswalker. So we're just adjusting the Planeswalker. We're going to add 1 to artifacts. So we're going to run Haystack because I think it's cool and I want to try it. And Maul of the Skyclave because this is good. This is a very good equipment that we are fine running. So maybe Open the Armory could have come in, but we've made our decision and everything is fine. Alright. Enchantments, we need 4. 2 of them to be removal. So we have Seal Away, we have Pacifism, and we have In the Trenches, and we need 1 more. We need 1 more enchantment. What good enchantments are there? Let's go big. I'm looking at 6s now. What big enchantments win me the game that don't do counters or that kind of stuff? Very dodgy proxy. Elish Norn there. What have we got? Oh, hope everyone is good out there. The weather looks lovely outside. We're going out a bit later. We have another couple. We have another couple of hours for stream. We'll probably definitely have to come back with another episode. We are currently on. We are finishing off white. In my head, it'd be like we will power through this. We will have no issues. We will 100% get this all done today. Let's talk about Seance. 2 white. At the beginning of each upkeep, you may exile target creature card from your graveyard. If you do create a token that's a copy of that card, tokens. I thought we had something. Ha 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 ha. Okay, good. Here we go. Let's put a big aura in. Angelic Destiny, 4 mana. Giant creature has +4/+4 and has flying and first strike and is an angel in addition to its other types. And when enchanted dies, return Angelic Destiny. I'm doing this thing where I'm on stream. It's like I must talk as quickly as possible. I need to learn to calm down. I think I spot a Terminus in that pile. Yes, there was a Terminus in that pile. Do we want a cheeky Ravagers of War? No, I think Terminus would be a vibe. I think it's a bit of a feel bad for this kind of environment, is my gut. I think we're going to run Angelic Destiny and just be aware that someone will get God. And that's fine. If this lands and sticks around, you will win the game. If you don't, you will lose it. And that is fine. Marvellous. Alright. So we are good. We have our enchantments now. Alright, so white is done. There should be 46 cards. This will definitely not go wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. I am really good at Magic the Gathering, everyone. Yes! You love to see it. Alright. We're going to move on to blue. I'm going to run and quickly get a glass of water, because I powered through what I had prepared. I'll be back in like 60 seconds. I'm just going to fill this up and then come back. We'll see you all momentarily where we're going to move on to blue. I'm going to start in just one moment, okay? Right, see you in a sec. Hello? Can you hear me? Internet, do you read me? Marvellous. Alright. Can you tell that this stream was a little bit impromptu? I had enough time to do this. Yeah, I was going to record this as a like a VOD, like just record it and then put it up and edit it. But I thought, I need to get better at conversing, talking on the fly. So that's kind of why we are live today. Marvellous. Good, yeah, thank you all for being here. Let's move on to blue. We're putting the white box away. We are getting out blue. Haven't dropped the boxes yet, so that part's going well. If you hear a crash, that is what it will be. Alright, so we did well on white. I do think I need to be a bit better at making sure we're picking out instant sorceries and artifacts and enchantments to make sure we have them when we come to needing them at the end. Our white section is going to come up away, over there on the phone. It'll be fine. Alright, let's move on to blue. So, we're starting off with creatures in blue, and we need 2 1-drops. This is going to be quite quick, but blue has the highest amount of instants. So this is where the majority of our blue 1-drops are actually going to be. So when we're pulling out cards here, we're going to make sure that we're pulling out instants and sorceries as well, because blue really uses a lot of them. Ooh, I love a Terramander. Terry is great. However, counters, so unfortunately can't get in. This one should also go in my modern bordered cube. Yeah, that's also going up with Triumph of St. Catherine to go in another thing. I think Spyglass Siren is a great card, but I think Thought Scour is perfect. Blue decks in cube generally love cantrips, and Demiri decks love cards in graveyards. So I think Thought Scour is going in our pile to the side to look at later. A card like Opt as well. Great little card filtering. Again, cheap cantrips are phenomenal because they will trigger so many of like the effects that like Izzet is after. That kind of stuff. Like the cards that deal damage when you cast instant sorceries. Like we can't do Spellslinger in the token way. We can't, because this is a bar cube, we can't do effects that when you cast an instant sorcery make a token. But we can do the damage one. That's still something we can do. So a card like Opt is going to be great with a card like Thought Scour. Consider. And these are all next to each other. This must have just come out of a deck, as long with a lovely drawing of Ancestral. That's not going in. It could. Ooh, it could. No, I'm not doing that. But consider another cool card. We'll add it to the maybe pile. Version of choice. That's Ponder. I'm going to try and keep the cards in English where possible. Enclave Cryptologist. Phenomenal magic card. Staple in cubes for quite a long time. The level up part is a tracking thing, so we're probably not going to get to run it. Same with Birthday Escape. Ring Temptation. As much as I love it, I don't think it's going to be in this. Unsummon? We could just go old school. Return target creature return his hand. Enchantments on target creature are discarded. It doesn't say that anymore. I don't hate Unsummon. We can probably do better, but in the maybe pile, I want to make sure we have enough at the end. Mystic Remora. Ooh, we could do some Flying Men. I do love Flying Men. Where are we going? These all fine. Serum Visions again. I'm pulling out Serum Visions as well as the Thought Scour, because I don't remember how many copies of Ponder or Preordain are left in this box. Ooh, Jace's Phantasm is a cool one. I think I have this in here from Pauper. Single blue flyer. Jace's Phantasm gets +4/+4 as long as an opponent has 10 or more cards in his or her graveyard. So early game this does nothing, but late game you can play this once the game's gone on a little bit. These games aren't going to be super fast. That's kind of, with this power level of cube, we're not going to be killing people on turn 3 or 4. The games are going to go to turn like 6, 7, 8, maybe more. This will often be a 1 mana 5/5, which is going to be nice because it means that Think of this as like, this is like Abhorrent Oculus. That's what Jace's Phantasm is. It is old, very old Abhorrent Oculus. Later in the game, we can play it and then hold up a counterspell. That's what it is for. Maybe Pile. I know I'm just talking myself into it by comparing it to Abhorrent Oculus, but we'll give it a go. Ooh, I do love Aether Spellbomb. This is actually the version card that was in my main cube until very recently. We need an artifact in blue, potentially. Okay. Ray of Erasure, everyone. When you need to go deep, you go Thought Scour. You go Consider. Then you go Ray of Erasure. Single blue instant, target player takes the top card of his or her library and puts it into his or her graveyard. Draw a card at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. I played this in Pauper. It's not getting into this. Mill Archetype? Potentially. Does work with Jace's Phantasm. Like, yeah, we probably had Ruin Crab, you probably saw. Where's the other crab? I'm assuming I have the other crab. We could do Hedron Crab. We could do Hedron Crab. I don't hate that. I think I might have a bit look through, but yeah, currently Jace's Phantasm and Hedron Crab are pretty vibey. We have my favourite Opt Art with a little Yargle on top. Where are we going with this? Let's have a look. Aqueous Form is cool. Spectral Sailor is just generically really good. 1 mana flash, flyer, 4 mana draw a card. That's just fine. Another Hedron Crab. I mean, Triton Wavebreaker's kind of a vibe. Single blue, 1/1. Bestow for 1 and a blue, and as long as it is a creature, it has prowess, or it gives a creature prowess. 1 mana, 1/1 prowess is probably fine. Like, I would like... Sliverblade is the other thing I'm kind of here for as well. Putting a bunch of equipment on a Sliverblade is sick. And we do have a Preordain. Let's put a Preordain down here. And a Spell Pierce. Let's put a Spell Pierce down here. I think we're coming good. Fairy Seer is also really good. The foiling on those might be a bit of a pain. Cool. I think we're in a good place. Last deep vein of... Ooh, Siren Taper is actually really good, though. Single blue. 1/1 flyer. Sacrifice it. Counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. I think that's going to be quite good. Let's quickly just go through this last lot here. One of my favourite cube cards, unfortunately, doesn't get in. Is this a Chain of Vapor style cube? Probably not. Obsessive Research is sick. Oh, that's my Tamiyo. I found it. Hooray. That I currently have a very dodgy proxy in my actual cube. I think that works for me. Alright, let's reconvene. So we only need 2. This is the thing. We only need 2. We have a bunch of instant sorceries that I'm very happy with. They will all be getting in to this cube. Alright, being honest with it. So I do like the idea of Mill, but I think this is going to be similar to something that I think we're going to come and look at later. Same with Jace's Phantasm. I know I said this is basically a Abhorrent Oculus, like basically the same card. But I think just from a playability point of view, I think we're going to go. It's probably just these two, Spectral Sailor and Siren Stormtaper, and Siren Stormtamer. The ability to muck around with protect our own spells is good, and the ability to draw a card I think is quite nice. They're probably the strongest ones. Question of no Brainstorm. I'm not a fan of Brainstorm in lower powered level cubes. if I'm honest. I think you really need to be doing the... You need ways of shuffling your hand to make Brainstorm actually be the card that everyone talks about Brainstorm being. I had this in pre-release, actually. Like, in Strixhaven, there's the Brainstorm on a stick that you need to tap two other creatures to make it work. My opponent had that, and I was so happy that they were spending their turn brainstorming, not really doing anything. Because, yeah, the first time you cast... Because it's very easy to get Brainstorm locked. A lot of the time it's just like, you just look... I'm not saying Brainstorm is a bad card, but if you don't have the support for it in especially things like fetch lands, it's not as good. Like, in general, I don't... I've only started running Brainstorm in my higher power level cubes purely because I was doing stuff with top of the library matters, where I needed that synergy. If your cube doesn't have fetch lands, which this will not, this is a budget bar cube. Like, I'm not going to be playing with sleeves. I will not be. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to be at a point where. Yeah. Oh, basically. Brainstorm for this power level isn't the card that you think of it as in formats like Legacy, because there you have the fetch lands to really make it work and take the most out of it. You could stray a little away from the path and do like Slitherblade as well. They have enchantments to be curiosity effects. I do quite like that. I love the Slitherblade kind of deck. The one thing is that kind of Spectral Sailor and Siren Storm Tamer wear a Bone Splitter pretty well as well. Is the thing. Like, I love Slitherblade and I love Invisible Stalker, that kind of stuff. It's just with this type of cube, I think we want generically good cards, because these can wear Curiosity fine. If our opponent doesn't have a flyer, they're effectively the same card as Slitherblade. The Slitherblade is cool, but it's also a thing like, because we only have because this is one thing with a smaller cube. This is going to be a 360 cube. We don't really have the slots to do to have that kind of variety. That's why all my regular cubes are either 450 or 540, because you have room to breathe. Like, if we were building a 540 cube, you can see over here, we would have 4 1-drops, and then you do have a bit more diversity. You can support multiple different decks. With this, I think we're going to go with Spectral Sailor and Siren Storm Tamer. We're keeping the Slitherblade to one side. If we go a bit harder with the equipment or packages, then that's something we can look at. But I think for just generically good cards, I think we're going to go with Siren Storm Tamer and Spectral Sailor. A bunch of the cards that I would normally consider running make tokens or that kind of stuff. Let's keep it going. Let's move on to 2-drops. I know a couple of cards I think I want. Like, this is 100% a Merfolk Looter style of environment. So with this, I'll put it back up. Yeah, we need 7. That's right, 7 blue 2-drops. And as I said, we're going to be looking out for instants, because this has a very high amount of instants required. So negate. When we get to our counter spells, we will need... Oh, sorry. When we get to instants, we will need counter spells. Negate is just solid. It's getting in. Merfolk Looter. I love playing with a Merfolk Looter. I think it's just a very good Magic card. It's going to be getting in the pile. Put you up there. If we can find an improved Merfolk Looter, then we'll consider that as well. Or maybe instead of Cloud of Fairies, Pauper staple until it was banned. Maybe pile. I think maybe pile. Question on, could we brainstorm with Terramorphic Expanse and other common tap fetch lands? We could. It's just they're just... It's... Think of the density. I think of the consistency. The formats where brainstorm are good, you have 12, 16 fetch lands in your deck, and you know you're going to be drawing them every game. In a draft like this, there's only going to be 1 Terramorphic Expanse, 1 Evolving Wilds. Like, we could go for the... what do you call it? The Horizon lands, I think they are. The ones that come in and can search for one of 3 types that they cycle for. That could be a way of making it good, but I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. Honestly, like my honest opinion is that I think Brainstorm is a trapping cube. I'm not saying it's a bad card, and especially if you're doing top of the deck matter stuff with it, then it becomes very good. If you're wanting to tee up your Terminus or tee up your Miracle spells or something like that, it becomes very good. But just as it is, just playing it without any support, I think it struggles. Ghostly Pilfer is a cool one. This can go in the maybe pile for now. 2 mana, 2/1 Spirit Rogue. Whenever it becomes untapped, you may pay 2 generic. If you do, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. You can discard a card and it can't be blocked this turn. I do want some level of 2 mana. Like, blue 2-drops fall into 2 categories a lot of the time. They're either a looter or a way of pushing through damage. We have this Fairy Mastermind that is probably not going to get in just because I think I want to trade it. It's Magicon, or not Magicon, Spotlight Series London next week, and as I said before, I have 350 cards I need to get for my other 2 or 3 cubes. This is going towards those. I also think it might be a bit too strong for this level of cube. That's just something to consider. We will get a counterspell in here. I'm just waiting for one that isn't foil. Where are we going? This card is sick. Artificer's Intuition. It's not a card that we're going to be running in this cube. I just want to talk about it because it's rad. 1 blue enchantment. Discard a card for a single blue. Discard an artifact from your hand for a single blue. Search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 1 or less. Reveal that card and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your library. I did some really cool stuff in Commander with that. There's like a Demir one that it's Oscar, Lord of Rubbish. You can basically discard stuff. Or when you discard stuff, you can cast it. That's really cool. Ooh, Snap is a great Magic card. That's going in our maybe bowl. Instant sorceries. There's a counterspell. Counterspell can come down here. There's many counterspells. Alright, here's our vein of AKs. If we were doing that. Silent Hawk would be a cool one, but it requires counters, so it doesn't get in. Ooh! Alright, Tygam. Let's talk Tygam. I think this is a very cool card that I just haven't had the ability to play yet. And this seems like the perfect environment for it. 1 and a blue. Where's my center line? There we go. 1 and a blue for a 2/2. Creature, human monk, with flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy it. Then exile the spell you cast with 4 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Time counters. Not getting in. That's a shame. That is a cool one. Rise and Shine, also a very cool way of winning a game. Dare we? Could we? Let's see what else we got. Willbender? Willbender's a vibe. If we have more morphs, Willbender could get in. Do we just run 7 Persistent Petitioners and call it a day? Don't hate it. More Persistent Petitioners? Or Supplicant's Intensities? Alright, start the TARDIS. We're going to talk about this card because this is actually a really good sorcery. This is one of the top 3 bits of card filtering in blue at 2 mana. Surveil 2, then draw a card, you may Planeswalk. It also has Jumpstart, which means you can cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to playing its other types, then exile this card. Also has a bit of Bolognese on it. Ignore the Planeswalk part. 2 mana to Surveil 2 and draw a card is very solid. It's very good. Jumpstart is also very nice. This is going to go in our maybe pile for sorceries, and it's probably going to get in. Ooh, Fibblethip. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. When it becomes a target of a spell, shuffle it into its owner's library. This effectively is just a 2 mana draw one. That's probably going to get in the maybe pile. We'll see where we are for it. Ooh, I love ninjas. This is probably going to have a Ninja of the Deep Powers in it. Into the Royal, fantastic bounce card. 2 mana, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You can pay a kicker for 1 in the blue, and if it was kicked, you also draw a card. We love that. Frable Winds, we might keep this down here. Again, we've had some flyers in white. We do need a enchantment in these colours, so I think Fable Winds might be a little reward for the flyer. Are people more on board with Siren Storm Tamer and Spectral Sailor if they're 2/2s? Who knows? Maybe. More Willbenders. Where are we? Alright. Let's keep going. Chief Engineer. I don't think we're going to have enough artifacts. We're not going to be able to do Infect. Let's chat Infect while I look for other cards. I think Infect is also a trap in Cube. It's what is generally known as a parasitic mechanic, in that it just requires so many spells to really support. You just need to do too much in order to make it to be good. You have to run... Yeah, the juice... Similarly to what I'm saying about Brainstorm, is my opinion is that it's just not worth the squeeze. Like, you have to put so many cards in to support it. Like, if we had gone... Like, we've talked about putting some pump spells in this cube. If we were going really deep with that, then a card like Blighted Agent might get a bit better. But just generally, Infect and Poison counters just don't really get there. Like, when they brought it back recently, Toxic... That was a little bit better because the cards were more self-contained. Like, there was a payoff. Like, a lot of the Toxic cards were cards that cared about and gave poison counters and also rewarded themselves for it. Whereas this is just does nothing by itself. Like, yes, it's a 10-turn clock, but it just does nothing without it. So, basically, like, this card is as bad as Brainstorm. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright, let's keep going. Ooh. This is too good for this cube, but Flash is a vibe. Good to know I have a spare one. Where are we going? Oh, actually, we found Seagate Stormcaller. This is a cool card from a few years ago. 1 blue, 2/1 with kicker for 5. When it enters the battlefield, copy the next instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 2 or less. You cast this turn. When you cast it, if Seagate Stormcaller was kicked, copy that spell twice. Instead, you may choose new targets for the copy. There was a dream a lot of players had of this Empowered Cube being like its double Time Walk. There are plenty of other ways of making Time Walk good, but we're going to be doing spells in this. We have blue cards. This seems like a decent maybe. You can come up here. We're a bit over halfway through. Ooh, I want to talk about this card. Reptune Mystic. 1 blue, 2/1 flyer. Each card in your hand has cycling for 1 blue. I don't know if this is good enough, but I really want to play with this magic card. We're not really going that deep on cycling, but just having the ability to pitch stuff into the bin is going to be nice for things like Reanimator, stuff like that, and just being able to turn your card into another card. It's a maybe. I think there's something cool there. Oh, also, yeah, good point in chat. Thank you. Infect is counter-based, therefore disqualified. Yes, perfect. Thank you very much. Ooh, okay, here's my Legacy deck? Vintage? No, Legacy deck. What's left of it anyway. We traded those LEDs a long time ago. What do you do? I'm not reading that. Alright. Again, more persistent petitioners. There's Invisible Stalker. Very good, very fun magic card. Probably not getting in right now, but maybe pile. Thrumming Bird, definitely not getting in. Mana Leak. Mana Leak is 100% getting in. Alright, let's talk about some other hot takes. In Cube, Mana Leak is better than Counterspell. It's splashable in other decks. Not being double blue means that you're more likely to be able to cast it on turn 2, where Mana Leak is phenomenal. Like, yes, late game Counterspell is going to be really good, but I think Mana Leak is probably the most slam dunky of... If I was buying Counterspells for a cube, I would buy Mana Leak before I bought Counterspell. That is how good it is. It's going in our pile. We will bring it up again in a little bit. Right. Where are we? Alright, we're still in blue 2s. Oh no, the box, it's collapsed a little bit. We're good. Structural integrity is holding. I am looking for some more vibey creatures though. I feel like we've got some solid ones, but this... I have seen so many Merfolk Looters and Supplicant Instantes in this box. I think I have a problem. Marvelous. Ooh, Kami of the Crescent Moon. That's a good one. Beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an additional card. Is that a good one? Is that 2 commander? I like it. We will see where it is when we get to the end. Cheaty Face is a vibe. Cheaty Face is a vibe, especially when there's no sleeves. How do they cheat that onto the board? For those who haven't seen Cheaty Face, it is blue for a 2/2 creature with flying. You may sneak Cheaty Face into play any time without paying its mana. Without paying mana for it. But if an opponent catches you right away, that player may remove Cheaty Face from the game. So it's a 2 mana 2/2 flyer that if you can cheat in. This is kind of funny with no sleeves. Because that's how I've done it in the past. You put it under a sleeve and it's like, haha, it's in play. I don't hate that. Especially as we're kind of, Voldilian Soldiers. This box is just all bloody Merfolk Looters. Spelltutter Sprite. We are quite low on fairies, though, is the only thing. Alright. We're having to go to the trade binder. Give me some good blue 2s. Another Seagate Storm. The Stormcaller. Marvellous. Okay, no. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright. So, actually we have a few here. Alright. So we need 7 from this list. We like Kami. Nice vibes, because it speeds up the game. Okay, sick. Alright, Kami of the Crescent Moon. Get in. Seagate Stormcaller is going to get in. Why not? Alright, Merfolk Looter is 3. Screw it. Spelltutter Strike is 4, and Cloud of Fairies is 5. There we go. Synergy. What am I looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. We need 2 more. We have Willbender, Cheaty Face, Ghostly Pilferer, Invisible Stalker, Reptune Mystic, or Fibblethip. This is not correct. We're doing Cheaty Face. Because when else do we get to play with Cheaty Face? And then... I'm leaning towards Reptune Mystic. Willbender's probably correct. But I want to see how this card plays. I want to see what we can do with Reptune Mystic. It might... There is a world where it is just a 2 mana 2/1 flyer. And that we probably can do better. I do agree. But I want to see what we can do with every creature card in your hand has cycling. I think that's interesting, and I would like to see where we go with that. It means that if we can find a Living Death in our black section, that could be quite spicy. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. All right. On to 3s. We need 5 blue 3-drops. Alright. Again, thank you all for being here. I've been like 2.5 hours. Wonderful. We'll probably get to blue and then see where we are time-wise. Yeah. Don't have too much planned. Oh, no. I didn't have too much planned this morning. I'm off to see some wrestling this evening in Camden. Some people I know are wrestling. Should be awesome. Alright. Blue 3s. Manowar. I put that down so confidently. Nowhere near the middle. There, isn't it? Yes, good. Manowar, slam dunk, would we say, in this kind of power level of cube? I think just very solid. Probably going to be an auto-include. We have cards like Stroke of Genius. I like card draw in my instance. Good. Let's see where we are. Exclusion Mage. Another Manowar. We probably only want one. The human side of this might be more relevant. That might be why it gets in over Manowar. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Manowar! Manowar! That is funny to, like, 10 people who were at Bloodstock in 2009. Don't worry about it. Compulsive Reach is going to hit. Alright, Sea-Dash Octopus. 1 blue for a 2/2. Creature Octopus with Mutate for 1 and a blue. That means you can cast it and put it above or below a creature. With Flash. And when this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So we could put this on a bigger creature and give it this ability, or we could put it on an unblockable creature. We could put it on our Cheaty Face, for example. And then it does the Ophidian effect. I think that's quite cool. It's a card that I liked when it came out, but got power crept out of cubes very quickly. So that can go there. We're not going to be doing Propaganda. Midnight Clock is a cool one. I really like Midnight Clock. We do get room for 1 artifact, so that's probably going to come in there. Imprisoned in the Moon as well. We are looking for an enchantment. That's just a really solid one. We're probably not Windfalling. Grazilax is a cool one. Cloudkin Seer is a very cool magic card. That's going to come into the maybe pile. We have the picture for this stream. Curse of Verbosity. I Scryfall art searched pub. That's what came up. Dragon Turtle's a vibe. Alright, let's keep going. Oh. Why did my phone go off? I don't care. Right. Marvellous. Where are we? So if we're doing mill, I think this is a mill card. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of the library until that player exiles cards with total mana value 20 or more. It's basically mill. Yeah, that's a cool card. Ooh, I do like Dulcet Sirens. I wish we could do some stuff with Reality Acid. I don't think we've gone that deep on the flicker. We've gone more flying, which I think is fair. But if you can flicker this, Reality Acid is phenomenal. I think it works with Ephemerate. Because when this leaves the battlefield, exile enchanted permanent. So stripping their lands, all that kind of stuff. Very, very strong. Museo is a very cool one. If we're going that deep with artifacts. Ominous Roost is a card I would love to get working. Unfortunately, it creates tokens. But whenever it enters, and whenever you cast a spell from your graveyard, create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. And this creature can block only creatures with flying. This is kind of the original Insidious Roots, if that makes sense. Insidious Roots is much better than this card, but it's something I'd like to get working. I don't think it works with Flashback, because I have a feeling you exile the card and cast it from exile, I believe. We found the commander of the mill deck from earlier. Where else are we? Ghostly Flicker? We could just want a Ghostly Flicker. I know we don't have to go that deep on Flicker, but just regaining some ETBs is fun. So, we did speak about Monarchy earlier. This card, so heads up, this card is not going in this cube. It's a pacifism effect, kind of, but you get it introduces the Monarchy into the game. This is too good for this power level of cube. This is not a reason to add Monarchy to a cube, if I'm honest with you. Like, it just... This is a card that kind of warps it around it. We were talking about Monarchy earlier. Like, a card like Palace Jailer, cool magic card. It plays to the board, but then it's... You can get it back easier. In, like, Pauper Cube, do not run 4 from favour. It's just a bit miserable, in my opinion. And in higher power level cubes, run Mana Leak. run counter spell. That's how you deal with creatures. Academy Drake is so good, but we do not get it in because it cares about counters. I do want some. I'm going to use the term good blue creatures. Like Tishana's Tidebinder would get in, but why are these? These are both proxies. When did I feel the need to proxy 2 Tishana's Tidebinder? A very strong magic card. I do like them in cube. Wake Thrasher. Oh, until end of turn. Okay, perfect. Whenever opponent you control becomes untapped, Wake Thrasher gets +1. Wake Thrasher gets +1/+1 until end of turn. 3 mana 1/1. That is a vibe. Late game just becomes huge, and it's only temporary. I would love to run my preview card, but it puts stun counters on creatures, so we can't run it. Yeah, boy, previewed this card. I think that means I'm on Mythic Spoiler. Oh no, my old. I changed the name of the channel. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm fine. Alright, Jace's Archivist is a cool card. I know we said we didn't want a Windfall, but this is a repeatable Windfall. 3 mana 2/2, blue and tap. Each player discards cards from his or her hand, then draws cards equal to the number of cards discarded this way. Jace's Archivist is just very cool. Going in the main pile because it might just be a bit too commander for our own good. We've got a stroke in there. Ooh, Gadwick the Wizened. This is Merlin, I believe. X blue 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, draw X cards. Whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land opponent and opponent controls. Another really cool card that just got power crept out of cube way too quickly. I think it could be fun here. Quasi-Duplicate is fun. Capsize. Miserable, but quite good magic card. 3 mana. Return target permanent to its owner's hand at instant speed, but with buyback for 3. So if you have 6 mana, you're just bouncing back. Whatever you want. It says permanent. That's going to go in the maybe pile for them later. Ooh, Thornwind Fairies? When I started playing Magic, my teacher at school destroyed me with this deck. It was a Thornwind Fairies Horseshoe Crab deck. But, there's is it Psionic Gift or something like that? There's like a pinger that you equip to Horseshoe Crab, and there's a spell that's a single blue untapped target creature. So it's just you play these, you ping with this, or you untap with this, or that kind of stuff, and you just destroys everything. Destroys my ability to play Magic. I didn't know how Magic worked when I played as a kid. I didn't know that there was a second main phase. All this was all new to me. Yeah. I did not know the stack or anything like that. I thought Regenerate was return target card from the graveyard to play. That's why Ancient Silverback is the best card in all of Magic. Yeah, all very solid. Alright, sorry, I've been picking out some cool cards while I've been talking. Ooh, Squidward, that would be good combo with the unblockables. Where does Squidward? Oh, that was the Gravelax card. I do actually need a place to run my Squidward. Where did you go? Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control do combat damage to a player, draw a card. Oh, I do. Yeah, I like that actually. That is a vibe. That's going to go in the maybe pile. Along with some really cool cards. I really like Vesuvan Drifter. It was in my cube for a while, but it just got power crept out. 2 and a blue, flyer, 2/4. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Any card that lets me do that, I am here for. At the beginning of each combat, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, Vesuvan Drifter becomes a copy of that card until end of turn, except it has flying. It's a cool way to cheat an Emrakul that we probably won't have in here, but maybe something else with Annihilator. It's a good backup to our Reanimator decks. That's going to go in the maybe pile. And Kite Sail Lastness. This is an awesome card. 3 mana, 2/3, Flying Ward 1. When Kite Sail Lastness enters the battlefield, for each player, choose up to one other target artifact or creature that player controls. For as long as Kite Sail Lastness remains on the battlefield, the chosen permanent becomes treasure artifacts with tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any colour, and loses all other abilities. This is kind of like a blue version of Quickly looking at my white cards of the Get in the Bag card. It's a white Fiend Hunter, basically. And that is good. While also having Flying and Ward. Damn, Fiend Hunter is aged. Okay, you're going up there. We might actually be... I think... We're pretty close to being good. I just want to get a couple of instant sorceries out, just so I know we have them when we come to it later. But I think I feel very good, considering we only have room for 5. Oh, I don't think Mana War's getting in, actually. But Supreme Will is a great card. You're going over there. Marvellous. Right. And a more budget-friendly Sea Dasher Octopus. All right, let's have a look at this. I think I'm actually kind of happy with this. Quick looking at instant and sorceries. Ooh, Miss Syndicate Naga. Makes tokens, unfortunately not. Just looking for... That's also a cool card. Slick Shot Lockpicker. That's definitely what I said. Don't worry about it. And Frantic Search. There we go. Marvellous. Feeling... I was building a snow-themed deck for a friend recently. This almost went in. Let me read this card. Snowfall is 2 and a blue. Cumulative upkeep, single blue. Islands may produce an additional blue when tapped for mana. That mana is usable only for cumulative upkeep. Snow-covered islands may produce either an additional blue-blue or an additional blue when tapped for mana. That mana is usable only for cumulative upkeep. Did you keep track of that? What that basically means is that it's a card that helps you pay for your cumulative upkeep costs. That is all. I was building a friend... it was a friend's birthday recently. They ran a D&D campaign based in Kaldheim. Really cool. But yeah, I built them a commander deck based off of all the events and all the characters that happened in that D&D campaign. And this was in there up until the last round of cuts. This was card 101. It does nothing. There was no other cumulative upkeep cards in there, but it's called Snowfall. Awful magic card. Alright. I think we're good. Let's put these away and let's have a look at what we've got. Alright, so we only need 5. And there are some bangers in here. So, I don't think Mana War is actually getting in, which is a shame. I think Exclusion Mage is. Exclusion Mage is basically Mana War, but it's a human. And if we're doing any kind of Typal Matter stuff, humans is the easiest to support. So Exclusion Mage will get in on that front. I really like... Yeah, let's do Squidward, because why not? Let's do Sea Dasher Octopus. Let's do Kitesail Larcenist as some interaction. So this way, so we kind of have 2 bits of interaction. We have 2 cards that reward attacking. I like that. I am such a big fan of games of Magic ending. It's really good when people have nice games of Magic that end. Especially when you're doing a cube. So these rewarding people for getting through combat damage and incentivizing them to attack, I'm here for. And then I want to try Vesuvan Drifter again. I think that's very cool. It's a way of doing cool stuff. So, interestingly, this is a card that would make me want to play Brainstorm in this cube now. Because it's a card that actually cares about the top card of my library. It lets me take the big beefy card in my hand and put it back on top of my library. That is a reason to run Brainstorm. Vesuvan Drifter. That is quite cool. It does mean we're giving up on the alt art of that. So Cloudkin Seer, Wake Thrasher, Jace's Archivist, and Gadwick the Wizard. I'm okay with that. I think we're good. So we have our 5. Let's move on to 4 drops now. 4 now. So yeah, you can definitely tell the cat's not 100% because normally she would be all up in our jams whenever we're doing these streams. She's currently upstairs sleeping. It's been a week. Been to the vet many times. Yeah, she's all good now, which is great. But giving medicine to a cat who's very lithe and punchy is tricky. I have to wear all denim. It's like I'm going to war. But no. Alright, immediately, Wonder is 100% going in this cube. Wonder is one of my favourite magic cards of all time. I think it's just phenomenal. I think it's great. There is a world where we go Wonder clone. Having a clone effect is also really good in cube. It means we have room for one more. Factual Fiction can go in the maybe pile. Subtlety is a very solid magic card. These orange cards are from my original pass at a judge's tower. Miserable. Very good. A lot of fun. I love Judge's Tower, but the cards in that format are miserable. Ooh, I do like Nesh. Cryosphinx Sovereign. That's 6 mana. That's famously not 4 mana. That is in the wrong section. We'll come back to you in about... We'll come back to that one in about 20 minutes or so. Alright. Going through, finding some bangers. Ooh. I don't think we're going to get to doing combos with this. Is it Food Chain combos? You may cast it from exile. Marvellous. Stunt Double is cool. I think I like... If we're going to run a clone, let's do the one with Flash. Unbelievable, this power creep. Where are we going with this? Let's have a look. I do love Dreamcaller Styron. 4 mana, 3/3 flyer, can only block creatures with flying. When enter the battlefield, if you control another pirate, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. Pretty cool. Ooh, Ray of Command. This is there's bits of the Dan pile in here. Where are we going with that? Alright, all good. Again, we only need 3 4-drops. Dungeon Geists, though. 4 mana flyer. When it enters the battle, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its control's next untap step for as long as you control Dungeon Geist. That's pretty cool. Very much in the power level. Ooh, but Phantom Steed. There's too many good cards. And also, Sorrow of Temptation. Damn it. Too many bangers. Ooh, I need to build this Gandalf at some point. It was a promo from Magicon Barcelona, I think. I need to build that at some point. I love that card. I had a great time there. Not doing this year's Magicon in Amsterdam. It is a bit too pricey for your boy this year. Need to be good with cash. One reason why we are building a cube from the cards that we already own. Let's actually have a look at these. Sorry, I didn't read Sorrow of Temptation or Phantom Steed. But Sorrow of Temptation is 2 blue, 2/2 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, gain control of the target creature for as long as Sorrow of Temptation remains on the battlefield. So it's basically Dungeon Geists, but you gain control of it rather than tapping it. So I think Sorrow probably gets in over that. Phantom Steed is another vibey one. 4 mana, flash. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature you control until Phantom Steed leaves the battlefield. Whenever Phantom Steed attacks, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of that exiled creature, except it's an illusion in addition to its other types. Sacrifice the token at the end of combat. It says token, therefore it does not get in, but that is a very cool card. This was a similar thing to the Subin Drifter. The goal was, we sneak attack in our big thing. We attack with Phantom Steed. We put the big thing under the thing and we do multiple copies of the thing. Often not needed, just do the thing. Don't do things and then the thing. Just do the thing. Do as I say, not as I do. Ooh, Ninja of the Deep Hours. I said I wanted this in. So it's going to get in. We do have an extra room because we're not running a Planeswalker. We can kind of vibe where we want that to be, if I'm honest with you. I'm kind of open it to being here because there's so many cool cards. I think we're at a decent point. Ooh, Deep Analysis can get in the maybe pile. I have a feeling we're actually a bit low on counterspells, but let's have a look at this. I think we're actually going to be quite good here. So, I want Ninja of the Deep Hours. This card is awesome. Also good with these type of cards. And Cloud of Fairies and Spells of Strike. I think we're not going deep on ninjas. It's not a ninja package, but it's ninjas are sick. Like, I love playing with them. I want them in this. I think we go Sorrow of Temptation. That's just a good magic card. I think we go Stunt Double. And I think we go Wander. I think I'm okay with that. I think Dungeon Geist, we have a copy of that effect already. And this is just a flyer. And Wander gives everything flying. I'm happy with that. Alright, those are our 4. Alright, moving on to 5 drops. We only need 2, so this should be pretty straightforward. Ooh, cards everywhere. Alright. 2 sets, check. 2 sets. Alright, let's get up the 5 drops. Ooh, I saw a card I'm probably going to run. Mind Control. Lovely art. You can go over there. Alright, so we only need 2 creatures, but we do need to keep an eye out for like big instants and sorceries and stuff. Because we still need to have them in this deck. There we go. Prognostic Sphinx. 5 mana, 3/5, fly. Discard a card. It gains hexproof till it turns. Tap it. When it attacks, scry 3. I don't say we've peaked, but we may have peaked. Mole Drifter is generically good. Ooh, I do like Glyph Keeper. Ah, that's my Tezzeret the Seeker. Looking for that. When was that printed? 2022. Damn, can't go in my pre-2020 cube. We could do Mind Flayer instead of Mind Control. Probably doing both, actually. What? Okay. I must have not looked through this section when I was going through my cube earlier. Mystic Confluence is a hell of a magic card. Is that going to be too good? No, it's fine. Get in. If you were thinking of doing Monarchy, Fealty to the Realm is a really good card. 5 mana, enchant creature. When it enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. The Monarch controls enchanted creature, and enchanted creature attacks each combat if able and can't attack you. Very good card if you are doing Monarchy. Same with Keeper of Keys, but we're not in this one, I think. Where are we going? Peregrine Drake, very vibey. Cavalier of Gales, that's a proper magic card. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards on top of your library, put your hand on top of your library in any order, and when it dies, deals 2 damage. When it dies, shuffle it into its owner's library, then scry 2. So, I know what I was saying about Brainstorm, but this is also a 5/5 flyer. It's probably one of the better cards that we have spare for this. So many screaming Seahawks. Do I have a Homeward Path good combo with the Chimera? Potentially. I might have a Homeward Path in the land box. Let's get we'll get the Chimera out if it was in this part. I think I might put it down. I'll find the Chimera in a little bit. Traumatize? Target player puts half of his library into a graveyard. That's kind of vibes. Ooh. More ninjas. I would love to run something like Behold the Unspeakable. I love this set, but we can't run flip cards in our cube like this. Ooh, Gush. There we go. I'm feeling blue might be getting a bit more of a bump than some of the other colours, but it's fine. Arcane Savant, one of the most broken magic cards of all time. 5 mana, 3/3. Before you shuffle your deck to start the game, you may reveal this card from your deck and exile an instant or sorcery card you drafted that isn't in your deck. When it enters, copy the card. You may exile the card. When it enters the battlefield, copy a card you exiled with cards named Arcane Savant. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Meow! Hello, darling! Oh, you are feeling better. Come on. Hello there. A lovely force of will. Come on. Come on, your audience awaits, darling. Come on. Meow. Meow. Yes. You okay? Oh, meow. I'm surprised she's liking me right now. I've, again, had to... Oh, look at the peachy. Alright. Hello, meow. Lovely to see you. She has lost so much weight. It's one of the reasons why we were a bit worried about her. She was like 4.5 kilos, and she went down to like 3.5. Which is not good on such a tiny cat. So my searching is going to be slightly delayed. This is not going to work. Alright, let's... Can I do this one-handed? From a streamer point of view, the correct thing is to put the cat down, but there is no way in hell I am putting this cat down. Just so you're all aware. I love you all. But after this week, everything is okay now. Yes, lovely to see you. No. Alright. Ooh, Illusory Ambush is a sweet magic card. 5 mana, 4/1 flash. Whenever it's dealt damage, draw that many cards. Very cool. I think... Ooh, call out an Ugin's Insight. That's a cool magic card. But I think, yeah, let's go... Hey, because we only need 2 5-drops. Good to see you. Alright. So we have Prognostic, Sphinx, and Cavalier of Gales. I think I'm happy with those. Those are just very good creatures. This is definitely better than this, but this is vibier than this. So let's do that. Cool. Alright. 6 drops. So we only need 1 6-drop and 1 7-drop. So we'll get those together. Hello, Peachy. Good to see you. Oh. Alright. Shark Typhoon. Alright. We'll do it this way now. Ooh. I actually kind of want to play this card. I've had this since it was printed because I thought it was going to be awesome for cube. Hasn't got there in my big powerful cubes, but I think this might be perfect. Tidespout Tyrant, 8 mana, flyer. Whenever you cast a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. If we have a way of getting this out, like maybe with our Vesuvian Shapeshifter or something like that, or Vesuvian Drifter, sorry, then I think it's going to be quite good. Oh, wait. Sorry, this isn't working, is it, darling? I love you. Go, down you go. Now. I'll give you a treat in a minute, okay? You are best cat. Alright, let's keep going. Is Hullbreaker Horror too good? Hullbreaker Horror is too good. Ooh, Deadeye? Get put the Treasure Cruise over here. Arcanist. Again, proper magic cards. Where are we going? Brine Elemental. We could Pickles combo. Alright, let's... Chat, you can't see it, but all the cards have come tumbling down. We need to put 5s away. That was the issue, we didn't put 5s away. Alright. Alright, let's get some 6-drops. Sorry about that. Sphinx of Uthun is a cool one. Rivers of Book, actually. I quite like this. Return all non-land permanents target player controls to its owner's hand. That is a good payoff for an instant sorcery deck, or for a control deck that wins a game. We love that. Marvellous. We looked at Anesh earlier. Ooh. Is it just Torrential Gearhulk? Put this dig through time over here for later. I think I quite like that. Or maybe the Colossal Whale. Again, vibes. We're here for vibes. Talking of vibes, Gorgeous George. Trench Gorger. Probably not good enough for limited or for like 60 or for 40 card formats. 8 mana, 6/6 trample. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for any number of land cards. Exile them, then shuffle your library. If you do, its power and toughness each becomes equal to the number of cards exiled this way. So if you do this in Commander or Canadian Highlander, make it a 30/30. That'll kill people. I love Gorgeous George. I wish I could play it more. Alright, I think I like Torrential Gearhulk as my 6 and Titan's Aspirant as my 7/8. Let's have a look at that. So we have our 7/8. We have Torrential Gearhulk as our 6. We have Cavalier of Gales, Prognostic Sphinx as our 2 5s. We have Wonder, Sorrow of Temptation, and Stunt Double. And Ninja of the Deep Hours as 4 of our 4s. We've played around with the math there. Because we don't have a Planeswalker, I am adjusting it to include another 4s, because these 4s are actually quite good. We have 5 3s. Kitesail Larcenist, Vesuvian Drifter, Exclusion Mage, Sea Dasher Octopus, and Squidward. Otherwise known as Grazalix Ithid Scholar. We have 7 2s. We have Cheaty Face, Reptune Mystic, Cloud of Fairy, Spell Stutter Strite, easy for me to say, Merfolk Looter, Seagate Stormcaller, Kami of the Crescent Moon, and our 2 1s are Spectral Sailor and Siren Stormtamer. Marvellous, love that for us. Alright, so those are creatures. So blue, in theory, should be the easiest for creatures because it has the smallest creature count. There's only 21 creatures here. Or 22 because we adjusted and didn't take a Planeswalker. But now we need to get 14 instants. So let's look at the instants that we pulled out while we're looking through that. So we have Dig Through Time, Gush, Mystic Confluence, Commit, Fact or Fiction, Thirst for Identity, Frantic Search, Supreme Will, Capsize, Ghostly Flicker, Stroke of Genius, Mana Leak, Into the Royal, Counterspell, Snap, Negate, Spell Pierce, Unsummon, Opt, Consider, and Thought Scour. So that sounded like more than 14. Let's actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Right, that's too many. Let's cut them down. So from our stats, we know we need 5 card draw, 6 counter spells. Let's do our card draw first. So here's our 1 mana ones. Here's our 2+ mana ones. I swear we had a... Oh, Ponder's a sorcery. So that's pretty good. Right. Here's more mana. Again, we want a bit of a curve with this. Alright, so we have Thought Scour, Consider, Opt. We have Stroke of Genius, Frantic Search, Thirst for Identity. We have Fact or Fiction, and we have a Gush. Gush is technically 0 mana, but you can technically pay mana for it to cast it. Alright, so we know we need 5 bits of card draw. So I think that means let's do Consider and Thought Scour over Opt, just because I like having cards in the graveyard. We're running a Wonder, that'll just do nicely. Let's do a big one with Stroke of Genius. Let's do a efficient one with Frantic Search. And let's do a big top mana one with Fact or Fiction. Those are our 5 solid bits of card draw. We might add more. Again, the numbers on here are like minimums. You can add more if you like more. That's entirely up to you. Like I couldn't find a Dig Through Time. That would have got in otherwise. But there's 5 bits of card draw. Let's put that to one side. Let's look at our counter spells. We need 6 counter spells now. Let's go back to our instance. Spell Pierce. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. Negate. Target non-creature spell. Actual counter spell. Mana Leak. Supreme Will is a nice flexible one. Supreme Will is 3 mana. Instant, choose one. Counter target spell and its controller pays 3. Or it's a bit of card selection as well. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. So we have that. Oh, I did find the Dig Through Time. That can come in a minute. So we have 5 counter spells. Let's do one more. It's between Mystic Confluence and Commit for a big mana one. My gut is Mystic Confluence is too good. We don't need the wheels, so screw it. Mystic Confluence gets in as our 6th counterspell. So we have Mystic Confluence, Supreme Will, Mana Leak, Counterspell, Negate, Spell Pierce. I think that's kind of okay. Counterspell, Mystic Confluence, and Mana Leak are definitely the strongest. But the fact that these two don't hit creatures, I'm kind of okay with. The creature decks will have the ability to get down under the blue deck, but it still has the counterspell when it needs it. So I think that's okay. So we have our 6. So that means we have 11 in total. We have 11 instants. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. Let's go through the rest of them and see what we wanted to add. So, are there any other cool instants that we had? So I think let's do a Ghostly Flicker. Exile 2 artifacts, creatures, and or lands from you control, then return the battlefield under your control. That'll be... There's ETBs in this, that'll just be fine. I want an Into the Royal. Bit of interaction with our opponent. Similarly, I want a Snap. Again, these are just good things that blue can do to interact with our opponent. So that's... I think we get one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... No, 14. So we had 3 flex spots. We've gone for a flicker and 2 bits of interaction. I think that's pretty solid. That's going to be... These cards will all get played. These are all fine. We also have the ability to do some big mana-ish stuff with Frantic Search and Snap, which is quite nice. But I think that's all pretty solid. The Dig Through Time is probably going to be too good in this. I don't want to give blue Dig Through Time and Mystic Confluence. That's my thinking anyway. That can go over there. All right. Sorceries. We need 7 sorceries. 3 of them need to be card draw. Marvellous. All right, let's do Preordain. Let's do Start the TARDIS. And let's do Treasure Cruise. That's 3. What other one? We had River's Rebuke as a nice mass bounce spell. I'm here for that. That's 4. We get 3 more. I'm going to add Deep Analysis into here because I love Deep Analysis. That does mean we are a little short on sorceries. So we'll come back to that in a sec. So we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We needed 2 more. I do have Strategic Planning, Compulsive Research down here, but I don't just want more generic card draw. I think I want other blue effects that we'll look at in a sec. So let's put that to one side. We know we need a few more. But let's look at artifacts. We get 1 artifact. I'm thinking that 1 artifact is Midnight Clock. Blue ramp with the potential, like if it goes late, you can then start doing some cool stuff with it. I like that. 4 enchantments, we get 2. So I think we do Favourable Winds, because we've been doing some stuff with flyers, which is pretty cool. That's been fun. And then it's the choice between Imprisoned in the Moon or Mind Control. This is pretty tough. Imprisoned in the Moon is a phenomenal removal spell, but Mind Control, like, you get it. I'm leaning towards Mind Control out of the 2, if I'm honest with you. There is a world where, because we're down a sorcery, these are sorcery speed effects. Here's a little... When in the episode where we talk about the cube skeleton, it's fine to break the cube skeleton as long as you have a reason. I recently redid my Unpowered Vintage Cube, and I made everything fit, but not in the same way. So like enchantments are... A lot of the time, enchantments are just sorceries, but they stick around. Where's a good example? When you're playing a game of Magic, in terms of its effect on the board, Seal Away is very similar to... Screw it, Oust. In terms of the fact that it is a sorcery that has flash. That is a terrible example. Please ignore me. like, these are ways of answering an opponent's thing at the same time frame. Just I know I've done some very bad examples, but there is overlap. Like if you have like in my unpowered vintage cube, I wanted more artifacts in my red section because I'm building a red deck, a red aggro deck there, or a artifact aggro deck there. So I wanted more artifacts in it. I ran a card like I put in a card like Chainsaw. That is a artifact that comes down and deals damage to something when it comes in. That's effectively, like, in my head and in my way of justifying it, that is a sorcery. So you can adjust the numbers as you go along. Very good point in chat. Midnight Clock requires counters. Thank you for that. It will now be this Aether Spellbomb. Where did you go? I have lost the artifacts. Where did Midnight Clock go? Chat, it's been... I'm assuming it's in here. Midnight Clock, yes. Requires counters. Very good point. Unfortunately, that means that it is coming out. And Aether Spellbomb, just a really solid way. Ooh. I've just had a thought, actually. I know what I want to replace it. I need to go look at my 4s. I'm pretty positive I have a spare Bind of Thassa. Bind of Thassa would be really good with a bunch of the stuff that with a bunch of the unblockable and evasive creatures. Where's the Bind of Thassa? While we're here, we're going to look for a couple more. Hello, Daddy. The cat is back. Meow. Are you okay? Ooh. Mass Manipulation is going to come in. We needed another... gain control of X, target creatures and or planeswalkers. That seems like a very good thing to... that seems like a cool way of ending a game of Magic. And again, on this channel, we are fine with games of Magic ending. I could have sworn, when I was looking at this yesterday, I had a thick vein of Bind of Thassas. Meow. Do you know where they've gone, darling? Aha. Bind of Thassa. Perfect. Please don't randomly make a token. Whenever a creature you control does combat damage to a player, you may draw a card and one and a blue and tap. A creature your opponent control attack this turn if able. Perfect. Nothing to do with... I know right now. Yes, we nailed it, didn't we, darling? Yes, we did. Aren't we very good at Magic the Gathering? Yes, we are. Alright, let's count sorceries. So, sorceries was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. No, there's an enchantment in there. We're still down 1 sorcery. We're going to include Imprisoned in the Moon as a sorcery speed way of interacting with our opponents. I think that's pretty tight. We have Bind of Thassa as our artifact, and then we get 2 enchantments. So we're going to do Mind Control. And... Chat, it's all gone to tits. Alright, let's do this properly. So, our 2 enchantments are Imprisoned in the Moon and Mind Control. So that means we need 1 more sorcery. That's actually what we need. Hello, darling. Are you okay? Alright, I think this probably means we're going to probably be calling it to an end in a minute. This cat needs feeding and some attention. Yes, need to give you some medicine. Another Mystic Confluence, anyone? Ooh. How do we feel about an evacuation? Is that too miserable? Is that not too fun? Have a look. No, we got it, chat. Mind's Desire. Now that's a sorcery. 6 mana, shuffle your library, then exile the top card of your library until end of turn without until end turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost, and it has Storm. That could be quite fun. That could be a bit too much nonsense, actually. Clone Legion? Ooh, actually, hold on. Let's do another bounce spell. Spectral Deluge. 4 blue. Return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less to its owner's hands, where X is the number of islands you control, and has foretell for 1 blue. So it is a blue heavy card, but I think that's okay. I like, again, it's an effect in blue that isn't just another card draw spell. You know what I mean? Like, yes, this could be Treasure Cruise, or it could be something that actually progresses the game and wins the game. I think that's quite cool. So we'll do a final count. And yeah, I think we're going to end it there. We're going for 3 hours. Thank you so much for everyone who's been here. It's been a lot of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. We're 1 over. Marvellous. Alright, I'm going to find what that card is. But until I do that, I think that's going to be a good place to end it. Thank you all very much for being here. Yeah, greatly appreciated. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, I think. Yeah, we've got 2 colours done today. We'll try and get black and red done tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, thank you for being here. That was a lot of fun. I hope people found this helpful and entertaining. Always good to get back doing the live streaming. Yeah, I will also put a... probably not today, but if you're watching this VOD in a few days' time, I will put a Mox field, and I will put all these cards in it so you can see it there, and keep track of where we actually are with the building. But until tomorrow, again, thank you all very much for being here. Greatly appreciated. It's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from the cat. Meow, darling. Absolutely none of it. Okay. But until tomorrow, we'll see you all soon. Much love, everyone. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye.